What? It's not wrong based on what I've seen in this campaign so far.
That's insane. No, it's perfect. Speaking of which, he's not going to make it till probably 8:30ish, I'm sure.
All right,
Yeah.
that's about right.
That's
Yeah.
reasonable. We get it.
So what happened last time? Aside from basically everything, we made
got
some
attacked by
distance. I don't know how many days went by, but a couple weeks, right?
A couple weeks, about 3 weeks.
3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're actually at exactly a month now, right?
We were attacked by what were they called?
Peritons.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Little Hogwarts rejects.
Bad hippogriffs. Yeah, that definitely happened. He also had an encounter at an inn with 3 prestigious adventurers called Chad, Stacy, and Chonkers. And during that meeting, Capel conked himself on the head, and the Sven personality came back out.
Unfortunately for everybody.
Sven's treasure sword also went missing, and there was a bit of a stir among the merchants in the caravan as the wagon was stopped by the head teamster Lasvius Longnose until it could be sorted out. And the cultists raised quite a bit of stink about it being stopped, and they weren't willing to let their possessions be searched, and they rallied a lot of the other merchants to their cause. But it turned out that Asbara Jos was the one who had taken it because he had heard Sven screaming about it day in, day out, and wanted to see if it had any notable properties, and he didn't find anything, so he was more than happy to return it in exchange for letting the caravan continue on its way.
What a nice guy.
I think we were told several times at one point or another that to not mess with the dragon people. They really don't want to deal with us on this route.
It was very heavily hinted at.
Pretty mutual.
And other events that transpired, Ravon struck up a conversation with Nuhar and Selvik, the 2 elves who were selling exotic woods and carvings from Cormyr, and he joined their service and will not be working for Bade anymore, since Bade already has 3 well-equipped adventurers with him. He is more than happy to release Ravon from his contract and join them. And finally, after Acrony's untimely demise at the hands of a Periton, his second in command, Leda, took over his whole wagon train and demoted Sven immediately and promoted Gedwin to personal bodyguard. And as a guard, Sven will have more flexibility to move up and down the wagon train as he sees fit. But he is not getting paid nearly as much.
Yeah. About half or whatever. A third, I don't remember. He doesn't keep track.
It will be about half.
Yeah.
And it has, the week after the Periton attack has gone without further incident. The wagon train has been a bit more somber during the evening meal times. There is usually expected to be some injuries or even a casualty or 2 during these long trips, but this one was particularly gruesome, and from the rumors and mutterings you're hearing from others in the wagon train, they seem to believe that something is bringing bad luck to this particular caravan, since Peritons are known to be more mountainous predators who live high up in the snowy mountains and hunt wayward travelers there. It is very unusual to see them this far away from their natural habitat.
Well, before we go any further, allow me to gilded gift of glitter gold, great gritting god of yore, grant good luck to young and old, glean gold and gain galore.
You did it.
I did do it, but
Super
I haven't
proud.
done it all. Ooh.
You're 20. It is also
Hey.
worth noting that the gnome who hitched a ride on Bade's wagon risked his life during the incident with the Peritons to give Light a healing potion as he was bleeding out, whereas Chad, Stacy, and Chonkers cowered under the wagon during that incident.
He didn't want credit for it either.
Yeah, he did not speak up about it. What a nice guy.
So you've had a week of travel. It's the rest day right now. The wagons are gathered. Again, a lot of the various merchants and guards are not as chatty. The Cult of the Dragon guards and merchants seem to be even more standoffish than normal. Usually they would at least have one or two of them come over and maybe do a little bit of small talk or grab some alcohol from Bade, but they are completely isolated right now, even circling up their own wagons separate from the other caravan wagons. The only one of them who does come over and speak, for even if briefly, is Asmara Jos, who has come over to say that it might be wise if we have two distinct groups in case of attack, so the others can escape should it become dire.
Can't argue with that.
He seems somewhat reasonable for what he is.
What time is it currently?
Right now it's about noon.
This is the start of a new week, I'm assuming.
Tomorrow you'll be starting a new week of travel.
Is one of those break
Lazarus
periods.
will mention that there will be another big roadside inn that they are scheduled to stop at the end of this week.
Okay.
So everyone will be able to sleep indoors at that one.
Okay. And even though I don't work for Bait anymore, I'm still doing the animal handling thing, right? Is that a condition of being with Bait, or do I also handle the horses for?
Managing his animals is a condition of being with him. You don't have responsibility over his animals anymore.
Right. Okay. But I'm still going to learn
You could take care of
animal
the
handling
elves,
from
their horse or whatever.
Yeah, you can still do animal handling. You can manage the animals for Newhar and Selvik if you want. They're not going to object to that. They assume that you know what you're doing since you're a ranger.
Yeah, I just can't think of what's her name? Werend. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, you can still get animal handling trained from her.
Okay. Yeah, keep doing that.
What's Corden doing with his weekend?
Weekend, I'll probably doing a little bit of recovery from the beating I took.
Bit of praying.
Bade?
Yeah. Blessing Torm for my prowess in combat.
Is it Torm or is it some other guy?
Oh, shut up.
Oh, Corden, because you have been traveling with Lai this whole time, he is a bit of a stick up his ass. He does talk about money a lot, but he does like to talk a lot. And you just kind of listening to him, you do learn that he is a pretty proficient businessman to be making the sales of these rare cooking oils, which are a luxury item to the nobles in Waterdeep. And just the thriftiness, and the ability to be flexible when it comes to working with these people, since the nobles themselves are quite capricious in what they want and don't want, depending on the fashions of the day.
Naturally.
So as long as you continue to stay with him, and as long as you stay with him till the end of the journey, he will gain proficiency in the persuasion skill.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Yeah, he's not a bad one to learn from if long-winded about...
He hasn't had a change of personality after that near-death experience, or is this, normal for him, I guess?
It's certainly not normal for him, but he does appreciate that Corden, as far as he's aware, did follow his list of priorities.
Yeah.
That his protecting his money comes first, above all else.
But his money didn't protect him. You made it sound like he had a whole bunch of it under his clothes, and it didn't really stop the talons.
His money bought me as
Yeah, exactly.
ergo.
This is big brain stuff right here.
Oh yeah, dude. Making that money work. Yeah. So my main focus will be on resting and just kind of seeing how my charge is doing.
Bly seems pretty unfazed. He will basically say things along the lines of, Corden, this is just a risk of the road. Whenever you take a trip, it's a risk. It's a business investment. And sometimes the risk will pay off. Most of the time it does pay off. But sometimes you invite more risk upon yourself than is necessary. And next time you perhaps need greater precautions. So even though I am saving myself quite a bit of money just by hiring you to manage everything, it may be worth the investment to have 2 people next time. Food for thought.
I mean, it's your money to do as you please. I'm glad that so far I've lived up to expectations and providing the service you're looking for. I guess.
Indeed, indeed. It's been good to have someone to talk to on this whole trip. Sometimes I don't even hire anyone to protect me, and I just go on my way and rely on my chances, my calculated risk. But having you really saved me and my money back there, and I appreciate it. I have not been the most talkative person. I have not been willing to divulge all of my secrets, but these next few weeks, I am more than willing to share them with you. You've certainly earned them, and you deserve them. This concerns you a little bit, Corden, since Lai has been a little bit of a chatterbox this whole time.
When's he going to find out about your bar tab? That's the real question here.
He's a dwarf. He knows all about a bar tab. He knows what it'll look like.
Does he know it?
I've not kept a secret that I've been going over to the beer cellar. He's aware a man of my stature has plenty of drinking to do. Certainly after I endure the hard work of listening to him rattle off. Not that I'd ever tell him that, though, of course.
It's supposed to be one of the perks.
It's one of the... It's a...
All right. Is there anything that Sven would like to do?
I had 2 people I wanted to talk to. The first is the tall guy.
The tall guy, you say?
Oh,
Yeah,
the
the
giant
real tall
dude.
guy.
Heck yeah.
All right. He is hanging out with a couple of other people eating his dinner. He isn't talking, but occasionally you hear bursts of raucous laughter coming from him.
Oh boy. I gotta get into this Sven zone real quick. How is he gonna screw this up?
Sounds erotic.
What?
The Sven zone.
Hey, super tall guy, I didn't see you when all those birds were attacking. Where were you?
He'll look down at you from his sitting position.
I was kind of. I'll stare back at him. My arms at my hips. Just kind of.
I was protecting my own charge.
I
And
was
I-
too. Did you see how cool I was?
I'm afraid I was busy searching the skies. I was not paying attention to anything else at the moment.
You must be pretty tough. You're so tall.
I am very tall. Yes. They call me Skarsdag the Pole.
They call me Short Sword. Sven Short Sword.
The name seems adequate.
It doesn't really match who I am. Trust me.
He'll quirk an eyebrow as you stumble through this conversation, and he'll unfold himself from where he's sitting and raise himself to his 7'5" height.
But you see, I don't know why I'm called Sven when I'm not Norwegian. That's doesn't really make sense.
Norwegian, you say? I've never heard of such a nationality. Well, although I myself am from the Shar, so perhaps this caravan, this trade way, draws all sorts of unusual types.
Well, I'm going to Neverwinter. I'm going there with all my buddies. Well, we're not buddies. It's a secret.
Neverwinter, you say? That's quite far to the north. I myself am comfortable just traveling on this trade way and earning my keep. Perhaps getting into combat as needed.
I've seen combat. I've seen some real combat.
Maybe. Oh, because we brought it over when Louis came over sometime.
Real combat.
And it left.
He'll look up at the sky. It's about 2 in the afternoon. I have some time. Would you be interested in sparring? Sven?
Yeah, I'll beat you up.
Wow.
I'm real good at that.
No, not yet. I might get.
Is this going to be a spectacle like the last time he sparred?
Yeah, this will draw some attention.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ravon wants to
You can
watch.
make the juice,
People really
after I
seem to kind of be wary of Skarsdag. The fact that he's going to be getting into some combat seems to spread throughout the camp, and a fair number of people gather around to spectate. Sven, when you get into a little sparring circle with him, you see him pull a rod from his belt and push a button, and it extends out into a
Oh,
pretty lengthy pole arm.
Oh,
And you realize that for the purposes of mechanical combat, he has a 15-foot reach.
that is impressive.
Woohoo!
He'll extend his pole, and it'll glint in the sunlight, and he'll suddenly, without warning, swing it violently at you.
Okay, I block it, of course, easily.
Well, let's find out.
Thought that 18 from Ravon was that's a hit, and I was excited for a second. I was like, did I actually dodge this guy? I don't think I'm going to.
Good luck.
Oh, that's a hit.
He'll hit you for 1 damage.
The man's got a +9. My goodness.
The 1 damage or 7?
Roll 7 damage. He just rolled a 1.
Yeah.
And after he kind of slashes a small gouge in your arm, he'll hold out his hand and beckon.
I have tricks up my sleeve too, says Sven Shoresword as he pulls out a pouch. Ball bearings!
Yes!
I throw him on the ground in front of him.
You're a crafty one. But I'm afraid to say that I need to move for those to be effective, and right now I have no reason to do so. And he'll swing at you again. Well, Sven was going to approach him.
No, that was his big move.
Alright.
There's another hit. Okay. Starting to feel that.
Sammy kind of does a small nick on your cheek, and blood will start to slowly drip from it. And he'll say, "Let's say one more hit, and we'll call the sparring good. I don't want to cause any unnecessary damage."
Well, this time it's my turn, as I pull out my Morning Star and give it a nice swing. Do I provoke attack of opportunity, I'm sure?
From running at him?
Yeah, from
no,
running at him.
The way attack of opportunity works in this game is you have to leave someone's threat area.
Yeah.
And you're...
I'm entering it. With my... What did I roll? A 2?
You are in it, I think. Just by virtue of his reach, right?
I rolled a 6, so it's an 11.
You do not hit him. He will kind of move his body like a beanstalk and just kind of shimmy his waist out of the way from your hit. And he'll kind of smirk, getting in close. You may regret that. And he'll drop his pole arm and draw a heavy flail from his belt.
This is good.
And will swing that at you.
Based entirely off of Sven's experience with the half-dragon, he thinks someone pulling out a two-handed weapon means that they're at half health. This excites him.
Does the 18 hit?
No.
Alright. The heavy flail will clang off of your armor, and he'll nod approvingly.
Do I get to give him another hit?
You do.
Oh, yes. This is his favorite part.
Swing your Morning Star, but unfortunately you again miss, but he will catch the shaft of the weapon in his hand as you pull it back up and say, "I think we're good sparring for now. You have quite some skill, Sven."
I mean, admittedly, I did take like 18 damage, like nothing.
You were wise enough to run in under my polearm, so I cannot attack you with it anymore. There are plenty of unskilled fighters who kind of dance around me, trying to wait their chance to dash in instead of just going for it. And I can appreciate that.
Wait, it was... How are you supposed to dash in against you? You're like 10 feet tall.
That might just be the short in your name talking. I'm only 7'5", but
Oh,
yes.
no, in Norway, that's 10 feet tall.
Interesting. Norway, you say? This is a magical land I'll have to seek out if there are as many humans there at your height. He will grab his polearm and he will press a button on it, and you'll hear swoop as the whole thing retracts into...
Where do I get one of those?
This was made by an expert craftsman in the Shar, a land far to the south, with a great rift running through it.
Well, you see, I've got a handle, but it doesn't have the extendo button on it yet. I gotta get that added. It's the it's my treasure sword.
I think I've heard of this. I believe you lost it a couple of weeks ago.
What? Well, here's my treasure sword. Let's pull it out just real quick. I show him the handle. It's no extendo button though. It's not built in.
He'll extend his long arm to Sven and unfurl his hand. May I see your treasure
I
sword?
show him it. I guess he wants to take it in his hands.
He does want to take it.
Oh boy, I'm scared. I guess I hand it to him because he'll beat me up otherwise.
He'll take it. He'll look at it. He'll nibble on it with his teeth and say, "This is a fine craftsmanship. I'm sure that once it's complete, you will be a mighty weapon."
I need an extendo button. I need to have combat action, treasure sword.
You are a terrible little man, but I've taken a liking to you. I have some contacts who keep their ears open among the North and South. When we get to Waterdeep, give me a few days and then look me up, and I might be able to find something on this treasure sword of yours for you. And then he will return the hilt to
I
Sven.
take it back.
This was quite enjoyable. I hope that we get the chance to chat again, Sven. And he will extend a hand to you.
Yeah, I'll shake it thoroughly. He's a good person, very good person.
And
First
with
guy
that,
who wants to
will-
help my treasure sword quest.
Now, with that, he will crumple himself back up and sit back down and go back to his meal.
I was really fighting to not shoot liquid out of my mouth. You are a horrible little man.
I was gonna go fight what's her name again, but I think that's probably a bad idea now that I've taken a big hit.
Taijit?
But
The dwarf lady?
yeah,
No, she likes you. She hates.
well, that's fine and
Paul.
all that, but I'm wounded.
I
Got
mean,
hit by this big muscle guy like twice.
shit, ask Gordon for healing.
Heal yourself.
I don't have any healing spells prepared.
Well, Sven sees Ravan in the crowd, and he's gonna attempt to go talk to you. So you should probably book it or something.
I would like to make a stealth check.
Go for it.
Against me.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh
that's
god. Oh no.
someone's gonna get spotted.
Oh no!
Ravan.
Yes.
I just talked to this guy. He's gonna help me with my fight. He's gonna help me find it. It's my treasure sword. He's gonna help me find it. Extendo button. New upgraded
Yes,
treasure sword. Treasure sword. +2.
I'm very happy for you. You might want to get those injuries checked. Wouldn't want you getting an infection. Go see the dwarf.
There is a gash on your arm and a cut on your cheek.
He says, "Go." I'm gonna go see the dwarf, the lady dwarf, though.
All right. Is that your next objective?
That's my next objective. It wasn't going to be, but I just got told to go there. So
She'll have her arms crossed as you approach her. She looks pissed.
hey, I just fought this really tough guy. He's super cool.
I saw that you got yourself cut up.
Yeah,
That was a damn foolish thing to do.
it was real fun though. I like that guy. He's nice.
Yeah, Skarsdag is polite at the very least. Although I would have expected you to have a better gauge of your strength relative to your opponents. You don't seem to have any concept of that.
Well, I just beat these birds the other day. It was super cool.
Yeah, I saw those, but and I want to run over and help, but unfortunately I am bound to my employer until
Oh,
we
yeah.
reach Waterdeep.
Yeah, it was,
Did I say something?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
She'll awkwardly take both hands and pat Sven on the head.
Oh,
There, human child.
my employer didn't make it.
I'm aware. Many of us did attend Akerni's funeral.
I'm sad. I'm sad. He was so nice. He was a friend.
You can see her kind of choosing her words carefully, and she'll say, He was not the worst person who could have died.
Oh my.
So that is a consolation, at least.
You don't make a lot of friends in this business, it's mercenaries and
I've made almost no friends, so I understand.
It's tough because you meet someone and then the next day they're gone, and this next day that you sometimes you meet someone on one side and then you fight them on the other side, and just fighting battles that aren't yours. I've been a mercenary for so long.
That is unfortunately the life that we have chosen to lead as sellswords.
How old is Sven?
He's 22.
Oh,
Wait here, I think I've got something that
He was in the guard for his city when he was like 16, and he screwed that up so bad that he's been a wandering mercenary since then.
Taijit has run off Henry.
Yeah.
But she's back shortly with 2 mugs of ale from Bade.
Oh boy, well, Sven takes it.
Here, to the road, to Acrony. She'll raise her glass.
He'll he's pretty sobbing, but he'll drink it as well.
And she'll, Sven hangs her out for the rest of the day. She'll spend the rest of the day chatting with him about his emotional troubles.
He'll go into all sorts of details about how he's he's traveled from this place to another, just doing jobs, work.
But she'll nod and chat and talk about how, she too she has trouble, since you have trouble keeping your emotions in check, but I have troubles keeping my anger in check. Sometimes someone has said something off and I couldn't control myself and I stabbed them. That was no good. I didn't really mean to. I've got no tolerance for bullies. If that Skarsdag guy was going to give you a hard time of it, he wasn't going to live to the next day. That sort of thing.
and that's what this is all about.
That Gedwin guy better shape up his behavior.
Poor Gedwin. He's not even here yet, but he's already in danger.
He's being maligned.
But aside from him, your other companions seem to be of good nature and quite honest. That ranger and your dwarf cleric of Torm. He's quite wise and offers good counsel.
They don't seem to like each other, but I ship them.
I'm eminently shocked that someone finds Ravon anything but a repulsive hermit.
He may seem like a repulsive hermit, but I think that's a redeemable quality.
You get along fine with people who aren't snobbish nobles and stuff.
Yeah, but what can you do? They pay good money, and that's what you need sometimes.
Sven privately thinks that he doesn't know how much money he hasn't had money in a while.
Well, how long has he been traveling? 6 weeks. Well, he has 50 gold pieces so far, just from his 10 gold per week salary. But now it's only 5.
Before the trip, he didn't have any until he became Capel. So
Capel's all sorts of rich.
He was all sorts of rich. It was great. Whenever Capel shows up again, he's always wondering, what happened to my wallet?
It's winding down into evening now, and Taijit will say, well, I've had a good time talking with you, Sven. We'll be approaching a roadside inn at the end of the week. And she'll kind of look at you, wink, and go, look me up at the inn when we get there.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Guys, this
And
is
she'll
this
give
is
you- and
real
she'll
bad
give you a-
news.
And she'll run off to
Oh man.
get ready for the next day.
Sven thinks to himself, "What was that all about?"
She's going to be horrified when you bonk your head during this week and you're someone else.
Oh boy. No, it's going to be far worse than that. Don't you worry.
Corden, I need you to go talk to Tajet. She's waiting up in my room, but I think it's some dwarvish thing. I need you to go up and see.
Oh, is there anything else anyone would like to do tonight?
Let's see. Who is? Did the Rock Gnome ever say what his name is?
No, he has not said his name.
Okay, I'll find him again, and I'll. What is he currently doing?
Right now he's kind of off by himself. Looks like he's going through like a deck of cards or something.
He's done scamming his marks.
For the day, at least.
Yeah, I'll go up to him and can just walk up behind him and say,
Are you being stealthy?
Yeah, why not?
You're good at that.
I am good at that usually. Let's
You could take 20 for
I'm
this.
gonna do that for this.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right,
see?
there you go. Come on, 16. He doesn't notice you as you walk up behind him.
I'll say have I okay. Did we find out what he was in character, or was that all meta talk? I don't remember. We were talking about him last session. I don't remember if that was
He told Sven all about his con, but
what he did, but Sven
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have said
Yeah,
it.
he kind of wrapped an arm around him and said, "Hey, I got a good thing going on with these guys. Don't fuck it up for me."
Yeah. Okay, so I wouldn't know.
No, you wouldn't. You
All
wouldn't.
right.
You might have seen him save the life of the dwarf
That's
lion.
yeah.
So
That's kind of what I was going to talk to him about. I imagine that would have been a fairly simple thing to see at that point. I don't think there were very many left at that point. So, plus they mentioned it during the funeral, I think, or during the like a thing afterwards, where they said, "Oh, everybody did a good job."
Yeah.
So, all right. So I'll go up behind him and go. So you saved the life of. Oh fuck! What's his name? What's his freaking name?
He hasn't given his name to you.
No, I don't mean him. I mean Lie.
Ravon.
opposite of truth, lie. Yes.
Yeah. I noticed you saved Lie instead of yourself. Very
With the,
brave.
the first word out of your mouth, he kind of jumps in his feet and spins around, and you notice that he has a hand crossbow in his hand, aimed about where your heart would be. But he notices it's you, and
If you weren't a hat
kind of
elf.
does a visible sigh of relief before putting it away. It's like,
Well,
anyone would be jumpy after what happened with those flying monstrosities. You
Well,
should
I'm
know
saying-
better than to sneak up on someone after a situation like that. If I'd fired this thing, you'd be dead in a minute.
I'm sure.
Well, what do you want?
I noticed that you saved the life of Lie. Very interesting, considering your very worthy companions did nothing.
Wasn't no big deal. When you're on the road, you got to do things for other people and help them out. If you want to be helped out yourself. I mean, that Bade Sekpol fella, he's a bit of a wino and, could use a bit of trouble managing his stock, if you know what I mean. But, he helped me out, so I figured I'd return the favor and pass it down on the road.
Very noble. And how are your your three friends doing? I notice. Surely they must be very, very worthy protection on the road, right?
Yeah, that's 3 bodies between me and anything that comes running at me, so that's pretty worthy to me. I ain't got no troubles with them. They're a little bit of they're braggarts and bullies, but, they carry quite a bit of coin. A little less now, but...
I see. You a merchant?
You call someone who's looking for easy money. A little bit of cards there, the shell game here. Easy money.
I see. You're a scammer.
Okay.
Oh, whoa, well, I don't be using that loaded language around here. And he'll kind of look around and kind of see if there's anyone who is around you. I'm what you call a professional gambler. One of those things that you may not know this, but that sort of thing ain't exactly street legal with the Flaming Fist in Baldur's Gate. They kind of got wind of an operation I had going on there, and I had to get out of town fast. Waterdeep's going to be fresh territory for me.
I see.
The man's an artist.
A con artist, you may say.
Oh, we call it a cartist because he does art on a cart.
Oh, I see.
It's a shame about that Acrony fellow. He was unpleasant to look at and to kind of be within 100 feet of, but he was a good, honest man as far as I can tell. It's a shame when we lose those types in this world.
Yeah, shame. What is your name?
Why don't you tell me your name first, Mr. Tall, Dark, and Ugly? I ain't exactly too fond of the way you go around doing your ways. You sneaking up on people in the evening and unannounced. Ain't exactly no reason for me to give you my name.
I apologize. Simply,
Like 0 for 6 with this
force
guy.
I know, it's great. Simply a force of habit. I'm a ranger. My name is Ravon.
Ravon, you say? And where exactly does a ranger named Ravon come across something like this? And he'll hold out your coin with the 1 and the 20 on the other side.
Oh! Oh, now how did you get that?
My ways. But it's quite unusual to see someone who isn't a gnome to have possession of one of these. There aren't too many of them. How'd you come across it?
Well, funny thing. A gnome bumped into me, and he tried stealing from me. Suffice to say, I caught him in the act. And as compensation for not oh man. I'm trying to remember. I did tell a guard, didn't I?
You did.
Let's see. When I caught him, it caused a bit of a stir, and he was desperate to get out without being in jail, and I was offered this as compensation. I accepted.
Boy, he's become quite loose with his possessions, I must say. Well, if he saw fit to let you have one of these, You should be good with it, and he'll flip it into the air for you to catch.
Ooh. Can I just catch it outright, or
You can just
do I
catch it outright. You have a high enough dexterity.
okay. I'd like to inspect it to make sure it's actually my coin.
All right, you can expect it. As you look it over, he'll say, that's the real thing. You don't need to worry about it.
Now it's got a 1 and a 100 on the other side, and it's been upgraded.
It'd only be bad luck if I took it for myself from someone it wasn't given to.
Is it actually the coin?
It is actually the coin.
Okay, I'll pocket it again. And I'll go. When did he? So okay, we've been. How far away from him am I?
As far away as you want to be.
Okay, I figured I was about 3 feet back.
When you were looking at his crossbow, his mage hand was like doing some pickpocketing.
Probably. But all right.
It's the classic misdirection right there.
Yeah, I'll pocket it and look at him again and go. You still haven't told me your name.
I decided to tell it to you, but a word to the wise. Those cloaks are pretty nice. They can conceal your movements when there's something you want to take from someone else. But if someone wants to take something from you, their hands are going to be hidden in your cloak. Just something to think about.
Is he talking about my cloak of resistance?
He is.
Oh.
Well, I am going to turn in for the night. I've had a busy day playing cards with Chad, Stacy, and Chonkers.
This voice is great.
Oh man, it was more so the motion that got me. The little. I just wonder what Ganon's up to. Yawn. Anyway, very well. Good night to you.
Good night to you. You've been blessed by Carl himself, so I don't think you need any good luck from me.
Hopefully not. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to when I go back to my little sleeping area. I'm going to keep a very close watch on my belongings for the remainder of the journey. We'll say until
All right.
Otherwise.
Longnose is up at the front of the thing. He's got like a sign that says, X number of days since a robbery's happened. Now, back to 0.
Reset the injury counter.
These people can't stop fighting. The injury counter was down to 0 days since someone was hurt. All right.
All right.
So the day rolls over unless someone else has something they want to do.
No. Particularly.
All right. So this next week of travel is a little rougher than most. You're working around some cliff sides and some valleys, so it's pretty rough going. But at about day 3 of this treacherous travel, at about 10 a.m., you guys are doing your bodyguard and guard duties, keeping an eye on things when you hear some shouting way at the front of the wagon.
Oh boy, I better check that out.
I will ask Gordon to go check it out. Make sure it's something that's not going to threaten me or my money.
Alright,
Vaughn will
you're the boss.
turn to Nohar and Is it Nuhar?
Yeah, Nuhar is the guy who's
Okay,
leading the
yeah.
horses. His mute
Yeah.
brother is in the back of the wagon.
Yeah, I'll turn to Nuhar and I'll say, sounds like a commotion. You want me to check it out?
Yes, I think that would be wise.
Very well. And I will go up to the front.
And I'm guessing Sven is going to go up and check it out.
Oh yeah, I already said that. Use my newfound freedom as not being a bodyguard.
So you guys get to where the shouting is, and it looks like one of the cult wagons has actually had trouble with a difficult turn and turned over. And one of the crates inside the wagon has tumbled and smashed open. And there are a gaggle of people around it going oohing and ahhing as it looks as though a large amount of jewelry has kind of tumbled out, all wrapped in wool. And it's not just like, this one really nice piece or a big jewel. It's like dozens upon dozens of like fine jewelry in this one crate. And these guys have like 10 wagons that they're carrying with full of crates. So it's quite a bit of stuff.
How are the cultists dealing with this crowd of gawkers?
A number of the merchants and guards are kind of forming a circle around it as people approach to kind of gawk. And are just saying, "Stay back, please. These are our wares, and we'll handle this." But you see a couple of people who are pretty interested in the wealth they have. It's like, "Hey, anything else you got back there?" And especially one person's like, "Ooh, what's this?" And you see Lasvius Longnose back in there picking up one of the pieces of jewelry wrapped in wool, saying, "Wow, these are real sapphires and rubies. This must be worth a fortune." And one of the guards will rip it from his hands and say, "What we carry is none of your business, Long Nose," and kind of shoo him away.
That was a rude thing to call him.
You mind your business, simpleton.
There's a couple letters off.
Oh,
It's
no.
actually Sven.
Oh no!
What'd you call him? You hear a shout from Taijit.
Yes.
Oh no!
She'll step out and
Oh, go
kind
kill.
of and point her axe at the guard who said that. That wasn't very nice. Apologize to him now. You can kind of almost see her hair standing on end as she's
I mean,
just,
it's probably
Here.
the best thing to call Sven is simpleton. It's
So basically, you just got called a simp.
Yes. We have ASMR for Sven to come down from this. The guard will just kind of look at her with her hackles raised and the axe and kind of put his hands up. Okay. I'm sorry for calling you a simpleton. I'm sure you're a very wise and kind man.
that was easy.
She got 23 in her intimidate. It was pretty
Ooh.
easy.
Wow.
But yeah, the cultists are doing their best to gather up the possessions and kind of hide them away from everyone else.
Okay.
How did this happen in
all-
the first place?
All of you that are here, roll perception checks. What'd you ask, Henry?
How did this happen in the first place?
There's a difficult turn in the road, and we have heavy cargo, so the wagon kind of tumbled over. We'll have to have a word with our teamster to make sure that they know what they're doing from here on out.
So I got a 20.
Mhm.
Where's Corden at?
Oh, sorry, I was away for a minute. What's going on?
Roll some perception.
Perception. Oh heavens! What is? Let's use this one. I need. Yep. And then I get advantage because of my shield.
You do.
Wow.
All right.
Don't even need it.
I perceive.
So Ravon and Corden, among the contraband that they are smuggling away with themselves, a couple of items that seem a bit more distinct from the jewelry stand out to you. You both notice a white mask. It looks like a dragon's face scattered among the treasure that glistens. That glistens with ivory. And you also noticed a silver glittering gauntlet as well. And Corden, because you roll a 20, you can recognize the symbol of Torm on that gauntlet.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Man, my dick's getting already.
thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So, okay, sorry. Explain to me who exactly is smuggling away. Like I said, I missed a little bit.
The
I-
dragons,
Yeah.
one of their cars
So-
kind of wagons broke down.
Yeah, you were traveling across rough terrain. They hit a hard turn, and their heavy cargo their wagon tumbled, and cargo fell off one of their 10 wagons, and a crate smashed open, revealing dozens upon dozens of rare jewelry wrapped in wool. And you guys noticed some particularly choice items among that crate. The cultists pretty quickly prioritize those and hide them away before anyone can notice them, or so they think. And a couple of the other NPCs have taken an interest in what they were traveling with.
If only
I'm
we had
curious.
Paul here.
Is the rock gnome over here?
He is, but he's kind of hanging around the outskirts. He's not making a fuss of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Because if we can sneakily get this this gauntlet, that'd be amazing.
It would be.
We have a bard who's not here yet. What time is it?
I'm also.
Oh,
I
it's
also
getting
am
close.
stealthy. So
Because you could try to
I've
sneak
got-
for it. We could probably
I've got
convince the
stealth
gnome.
and sleight of hand, so
But you don't have mage hand, which would be really cool to have, or unseen servant or whatever.
yeah. Clearly, he's got something because he did not.
He has mending, I think.
He didn't even make a move with his hands, did he? Aside from the crossbow, we were standing
You
far
can
enough
ask
apart.
him. You can ask.
As
him.
far as you're aware.
Yeah,
It's worth a shot, you know.
yeah. Especially since these guys seem to have a holy relic that doesn't belong to them.
Mm-hmm.
It belongs
Yeah,
to us.
I'm so upon seeing that,
Okay,
upon seeing that, and upon recognizing that, Corden is to say that I'm outraged that such an object is in their possession.
You gonna raise stink?
Yep. Hold on, I gotta get.
You could point at your helmet and be like, that's clearly mine, right? There were no, like, blades or, pommels or anything like that, right?
Not that you noticed.
Oh.
Hey there. Stay out of that. Okay.
No treasure swords, as it were.
Okay, so I am going to, indignant that part of the most holy relic in my religion is being held by scoundrels such as these. I am going to march over to
I'm going to
Mark.
attempt to grab Corden by the shoulder, and I'm going to lean down and whisper, "We don't want to cause a scene. Just
I'm causing a scene.
we'll
I'm causing a scene.
get that gauntlet." Oh wait, I suppose. Oh no, I
I'm
wouldn't
okay
know.
with
No, yeah, you didn't recognize what it was.
I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You
I-
didn't say
No,
anything.
you
I
see
was
it like a fancy gauntlet, but you don't recognize it
Yeah.
as a holy artifact.
Yeah, I suppose. Never mind. Carry
You
on.
don't grab him by the shoulder. You reach to his back and say, "How'd that arrow get in your back?" "Oh, let me help you."
So I
No,
yeah.
I don't
So
do
I
anything.
mark- I-
I don't know what he's doing.
My brow rolls, my locks, my face starts to go red, and I storm over to the bag. I storm over to the package, holding the gauntlet, and if I can get there before they can intercept, I'm going to reach in and just rip it out of the bag.
Yeah. Do guards
Are you
stop
you're,
him,
are
or
you trying to
what?
get there as fast as you can? Like before they can do anything about it?
Yep, I'm gonna rush over because I'm not.
Roll athletics.
They're not going to be allowed to keep that in their possession any longer.
Get another 20.
Oh, what? Oh, what? Hold on. Athletics.
Oh,
Oh, it's
actually,
pretty good.
Hey, baby, let's go.
So, amongst the confusion as they're trying to get rid of waybears and also try to clean up their stuff, you're able to just dash in there and yank the gauntlet. But unfortunately for you, this causes a lot of shouting from the cultists. Hey, what is that dwarf doing? Nab him! And you grab the gauntlet, and you're immediately kind of surrounded by other cultists. And they're just kind of glaring at you, saying, "Return that to us. That is our property and our goods."
If any of you put your filthy hands on an artifact of Tormageddon, I will personally batten every single one of your skulls.
Roll intimidate.
Ooh, good thing I've got dank ass charisma.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have charisma.
They aren't cowed by you, and as you kind of stand there menacing them, they're, "Hey, hi, this guy looks a little familiar. I think he gave us some. He was the beer dwarf back at the camp down by the green fields."
it's the old kobold revolt.
Oh,
Yeah, he got all those kobolds to revolt and gang up on us.
Oh.
I'm going to.
Get him!
Oh Jesus!
They all
I am glad you remember that.
I'd
Well-
like to make a stealth check.
you make a stealth check. They all you actually have advantage because there's no attention on you right now.
Okay, 16.
All right, you are stealth. They quite literally all jump on you like a cartoon pile on, and make a strength check with disadvantage, Gordon.
I'm just trying to get down. Remember, you good boy.
Yes.
Lend him your power, Smurf.
Alright, a strength check, you said?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh no, that's actually pretty good
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
so-
considering you have disadvantage.
yeah. Could have been worse.
Ravon could have given you his 20, but he's stingy with that.
With your righteous fury, you are able to kind of roar and Hulk out and knock off a couple of them, but there are unfortunately just barely too many of them for you to get rid of all of them, and you're just held down. And they manage to take the gauntlet away from you. And one of the cultists has pulled out a longsword, says, "I say we behead him here and now. It doesn't cause trouble," which does not sit well with the other merchants and people in the caravan. Say, "Hey, give him a chance. Yeah, he's a good cleric. We saw what he did against those Puritans." and merchants will kind of like get rowdy and angerous and start throwing things at the cultists, who are now a bit more hesitant to do anything to Corden.
How is the crowd to cultist ratio right now? How close is everybody together?
How close they are together? There's about 10-foot distance between them. None of the merchants or other guards seem willing to kind of cross that line
Okay.
and approach, but the cultists seem pretty happy about that, as they are outnumbered by other people in the wagon. But it's pretty clear the cultists are better armed.
Where's the gauntlet right now?
They took
I took it.
Do they did they put it anywhere, or is one of them holding on to it?
One of them is holding on to it.
Okay.
As this looks like it, is there anything anyone would like to do?
There's like a stool around I can find.
Probably.
All right, I'll
You have
grab
to-
it and I'll give it to Corden.
Sure.
Corden, as you're lying there with threats to have your ass killed, your helpful companion throws like a footstool,
Give him
At
the
you and
chair.
rolls to the floor in front of you. Oh,
Yes, Smurf.
as this is all starting to get a bit out of control, you'll hear clapping as Bara Jost comes forward from the front of the white
Here's
caravan.
bad news.
Says, "What's all this then? Now, there's no need for this sort of conflict. While we're all here on the road, everyone make a charisma saving throw,
Ooh.
Oh dear. Including me. I'm stealth.
including you."
Okay. Oh Jesus.
Oh my.
All right, everyone except Sven. Any sort of like anger or hostility that you feel towards the cultists, you kind of feel that seep away. You feel your anger kind of just calm down into indifference, and you're just kind of at peace. It's like, yeah, these cultists have my holy artifact, and that's not good, but peace, man. I ain't gonna get anything from fighting right now.
Give him the chair. Give him the chair. Ah!
And as Bar will say, and the cultists kind of seem the same way too. They were pretty angry, but they just kind of calmed down, and a lot of the merchants have calmed down too. And I'll say, and as Bar will just kind of stand in between the two groups and hold up his hands towards both of them and just speak in these soothing tones. Now, this conflict won't gain anyone anything here on the road. If I understand that Corden may have some grievances with these fine merchants and guards traveling with their wares, but that can be sorted out when we get to Waterdeep. These roads are a dangerous place, and won't do anyone any good to get into conflict while we're here. So I think it would be best if everyone's just to disperse for now, and when we get to Waterdeep, we can adjudicate our differences. And to Ravon and Corden, that sounds quite reasonable.
Wait, didn't they have a stolen artifact? Are we all going to gloss over that?
And Ravon, Corden, you like hear Sven yell about a stolen artifact, like, yeah, it was stolen, but that's not a big deal. You'll get it back someday.
Dang it.
Damn it.
And the cultists will get off of Corden, and Asbara will kind of take Corden's hand and guide him back towards the other merchants and say,
What a great guy.
all right, so we can all disperse. We'll clean up our mess. We apologize for the delay and any issues we may have caused, and everyone else, you can go back to your wagons, and I'm sure Mr. Longnose will have us back on track as quickly as we can. Lasvius Longnose just looks bewildered by all this, kind of panicky and not calm. He's like, oh, okay, Mr. Jost. If you got this under control, I'll let you handle this. And he'll kind of look bewildered by everyone just being calm and chill all of a sudden and run back to the front of the caravan. Sven, you recognize a charm effect was cast on everyone, and you can roll Arcana if you want to know which one specifically.
I guess I could roll it. Sure.
You have no idea what happened. Everyone maybe it was the friends cantrip.
I don't know what a spell is. Although I would definitely recognize that. I think Gedwin should probably learn that as fast as possible before he's killed by Dwarf.
So you guys just kind of run. So you guys are able to head back to your various guard posts when you're about 80 feet away from where this happened, and suddenly that calming, suppressive effect on your emotions is gone, and you recognize that you have been charmed by someone. And you can both roll Arcana to kind of figure out what exactly it was.
Ooh.
18.
Vaughn, you may have heard Gedwin talking about this, but you recognize that spell as a calm emotion spell. It makes creatures that are hostile towards each other indifferent.
I don't know nothing.
Nope, you just know that some wacky wizard magic happened.
What I know, is that some advanced magic, or is that fairly common low-level stuff?
You're not too familiar with how powerful that spell is.
Okay.
You just know that you do know that it impacted a lot of people, and even though you're pretty sure that he didn't know where you were, it impacted you as well.
This poor Asbara, like all he wants to do is not have anyone have any conflict, and it's just constantly, like, week by week.
Oh man.
He didn't become a red wizard to calm people down. He became a red wizard to cast powerful spells and stuff.
He's a refugee. He's tired of conflict.
No, he's getting a lot of it. Poor guy.
I don't appreciate being charmed. That man is dangerous. I mean, the fact that it affected so many people seems like a pretty, like, he's probably fairly powerful, I would think, right?
You think that's a fair assumption.
So you're allowed to think that.
Yeah, okay,
But
okay.
you can't be like
Yeah.
entirely sure because you're not familiar with like red wizards and how to gauge their power.
Right. But I mean, yeah, okay.
Sven will mention how him and Gedwin are in cahoots.
I don't think so.
They work together for Gedwin to steal my treasure sword. I saw him.
Okay. Sure.
Siobhan, nothing sounds more unlikely.
Yeah.
Gordon, is there anything you'd like to do?
Well, unfortunately, the straightforward approach did not work in acquiring my the holy artifact, the Holy Gauntlet of Torm. So, much like in war, this situation may take an alternative tactic. I'm going to foment a plan under this.
You're gonna have to find the right NPCs.
Or the right party member.
Yeah.
There's this chick who's like always green. She could like blend in with the grass and just kind of like creep up on it.
There you go. That's thinking with your head, Sven.
Or we do a whole like Ocean's 11 thing and just, create the perfect group for the perfect heist.
You have your options to recruit.
There's a
Yeah,
couple
when
months
I-
left of this, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to the next chance I get, I guess I don't know if we can all kind of get together. I'm going to. Yeah, I guess I'll just kind of. Shit. Thanks, Murph. How my ear? He's looking at me with such lovely eyes. Can you make some noise for your dad? Yeah. Come on, make some noise. You talk to the little boy. We can make noise. Come on. Happy snorts. We'll just lick it.
Yeah, when the caravan stops for the night, you guys can all get together and chat.
Okay. Well, when we do, yeah.
I think if we get together, it should be well out of the eyesight of the cultists,
Yeah.
because they recognize Corden, and we definitely don't want to be seen
Yeah,
together.
they recognized him pretty bigly there.
I'm going to, I'm going to, I'm gonna do the, I'm gonna talk to, I'm totally blanking on the name. Pull it up quick. Field office? No. Tavern? No. Characters? No. Gallery.
Gallery.
Yep. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll talk to. So I'm actually gonna talk. So yeah, I'm gonna obviously talk to. Why the fuck did it just highlight that? Sorry, somewhere in the gallery, way up in the gallery chat. Apparently, I was trying to edit a comment back from 2018.
Nice.
That reads.
Wow.
It's one-way ticket to Pussy Town, you mean? I can't see any of the context above it, but that's all it says.
I'm sure there was a very good reason. Okay.
Jesus Christ. Oh, Lord.
In context, it makes perfect sense.
I'm sure.
Not to explore. Oh my, what was that noise? I'm going to explore that later. Why can I not find that dude? What? No, what? So yeah, my half-elven bartender. I'm going to ask him to, if he might do me a favor, just pass on to you three. We need to have a discussion outside of detection.
You really want to use him? Why don't we just get together out of? I mean, I would think that we'd have.
Because y'all need to know that we need to get together.
I think we would assume that we want to get together.
Yeah, I can pass along a message. Should I have any location I should let them know of?
Let's see.
The area you've been traveling in has been like valleys, cliffs, and rocky outcroppings. So there are a couple of small caves or ways out of the way you could go to. You also know that the cultists circle up their wagons separately from everyone else for the night. So you could also kind of duck around a corner at the back of the road and be out of their eyesight.
Sure. Yeah, I'll just tell them to tell y'all that after the cultists have settled down, we need to have a discussion out of their eyesight. I'm actually also going to separately approach Tajit, the female dwarf.
All right.
Because she seems like one that will. Yeah, you can take him back.
Why is our whole party going up to this dwarf?
Oh, he'll just be happier.
Dang it.
Oh, I see your boots are here.
He's also been making little stinkies. I think it's just And it smells. Oh, earbud caught.
Well, yeah, he had wet food today.
Oh, that's right. You have gravy breath. That's why you're so nasty. That's why you're so nasty. That's why I'm sending you with your mama.
I didn't realize that his butt was being held up to the microphone this whole time instead of his face.
Shut up, Alex.
What did you say?
Said I didn't realize his butt was being held up to the microphone this whole time. Yeah. We're working on trying to trigger good snorts. Aw.
Keep doing this one, I want to away.
Fine. But yeah, she seems well, being that she
Unstable.
huh?
Never mind.
Yeah, being that she seems like she'd be good for a scrap. I'm going to
Like, what are we trying to do? Are we trying to
Yeah,
fight them?
are we trying to?
I am.
There's a lot
You
of
will.
them.
There are a lot, and I don't.
Wait, no,
Okay,
this is part
well-
of the Ocean's 11 thing. This is the muscle.
Yes. Yeah.
That's right.
Sure.
Well, y'all can sit here and not metagame before we've had a chance to have our discussion.
All I do is metagame. It's much better than playing as Sven Shortsword.
Well, according to your approaching Taijit, or Tajit,
So, yes, I'm going to, yes, I'm going to approach her and just kind of ask, let's start off. All right.
Yeah, praying dwarf.
Well, so yeah, I'll kind of talk to her and I'll, I don't know, knock on her tent door or whatever. And I'm actually going to ask her, like, hey, you're a mighty warrior, so you seem. What do
I
you...
consider myself capable at least.
All right. Now, I need to know how much you caught of that little disturbance earlier.
Enough to make them piss me off.
Good. You know what I was. You do know what I was going to grab from them, right?
Had some pretty glove in your hand, I saw that.
It's not simply a glove. That there is one of the holy artifacts of Thor. It's one of his pieces of armor that he, as he ascended to godhood. Now that artifact has absolutely no business being in hands, it being in those filthy hands. The only place that it rightfully belongs is with the followers of Torm. It's a very powerful artifact. I don't know if you're interested, but at some point we've got to be getting it away from them. So if you're willing to help out, I'm going to be meeting with some compatriots of mine, including that Sven Shortsword. And I'd like to discuss with them the importance of what it was.
It's not a name you usually want to drop.
Aye, but she's the one asking me about you. She's the one who's wanting to drop her panties. For whatever reason.
People make
Don't think he was
mistakes.
there for that. But
She
make
wants
many
herself a
mistakes.
serving of that. She wants herself a taste of that short sword, if you get my meaning.
She'll say, "Yeah, I'm interested. I've been looking to get some action in on this road, and I'll get some of my fighting action and maybe some of the other action too. If Sven is going to be there too. I don't really care about your holy artifact. I'm more concerned about just cracking some skulls of those terrible types."
I figured that might be the case. If you're willing to crack some skulls, that's really all I'm asking. At the very least, I don't suspect we're going to make it through this whole journey without getting into a good scrap with them. So, this is where we're meeting. We'll be there after those. We'll be there after they circle their wagons up and start to go to sleep themselves. And with that, I'm going to head away until we take a pause and night begins to fall and they've circled up.
All right. Is there anyone else you'd like to speak to?
Nah, that's the only one that I know of.
All right. Is there anyone else would like to talk to before we transition to the meeting? Both of you will get a note from Bade, or at least he'll approach you if you don't approach him at some point during the night and say that Corden would like to meet with you. Back behind the caravans around the corner, out of prying eyesight.
Well, Ravan could go talk to his gnome friend.
I was thinking about that, yes. Yeah, you know what? I'll go up and find him.
Okay. He's not too hard to find. He's doing some sort of thing with cards with Chad, Stacy, and Chonkers.
This time, I'd like to roll stealth again, but this time I'm sneaking up on the three idiots.
As you can roll stealth for that.
How's a 10?
Let me let you know. It's plenty good.
Hey!
As you sneak up behind them, the gnome will look up from his card game briefly and wink at you, and then go back to playing cards with these three. And you'll hear, and as you approach, your Chonkers kind of slam the ground with her fist and say, "Oh, I lost again!" And that's more money for me. And you'll hear the clinking of coins being exchanged.
I'll walk up behind the three of them, and I'll say, let's see. Is that a parrot I hear?
And Chad will jump up and scream as he does that, and he'll look and he'll stare at you, and he'll sweat dripping down his face. And Stacy and Chongris will also respond, and likewise, scattering the cards behind them. And then looking around and seeing you, Chad will go, "Oh, a prank! How frivolous! You know those creatures are quite dangerous. You could cause a heart attack in someone by pretending that they're here when they're not. How uncouth of you!"
Yes, heard it before. I need to speak to the gnome. Make yourself scarce.
Well, it just so happened I had other business to do anyway. Come, Stacy. Come, Chonkers. And they'll all scurry off, and Stacy will flip you off as they leave.
I'll raise
Just
an
save
eyebrow in
their
return.
wallets. What?
Yeah. No, they still lost money.
The gnome will frown as they leave and say, "You cost me some coin there, sir."
I think I can make up for that.
Just by giving him a dangerous mission, yeah.
Well, you know, this is Ocean's 11. We're all in it together, right?
No, it's Mission Impossible now.
Yeah, it really is.
He'll start picking up his cards and playing with them and say, "Well, what's the job?"
You saw what that caravan had in it.
I was pretty impressed.
You saw the way the dwarf reacted to that gauntlet.
It was a very Dorvis reaction, if I do say. Quite stupid.
Yeah, I
think he'd
agree.
be more interested in the gnome's reaction. The Longnose had his eyes on some of these real sapphires or whatever.
He did. But, no, the dwarf really wants that gauntlet. And I think he's going to do anything he can to get it. I would like to propose a partnership.
What sort of partnership?
You help us get the gauntlet to the dwarf. You get to keep whatever else you can.
He'll start rocking back and forth on his legs, and you can see he's a little twitchy, maybe excited, but he'll still reply, "That's probably true. I could hawk a couple of those off and already make myself quite a fortune. But that's risky money, and the money I'm making right now is safe money. So why should I go around being risky when I can continue making safe money here?"
Was he also charmed?
You did not notice because you were charmed.
That's okay. I will. I'll ask him. So, you don't mind that mage charmed you?
Tried to charm me. I'm a gnome. I got a bit of resistance to that sort of thing, you know? No. I don't mind that sort of thing. I mean, he wasn't doing it to try and scam anyone. He was trying to end the conflict. Bit of a sneaky one, that one.
Very dangerous. However, I am, as you noticed, I am a bit sneaky myself.
You did one on me the other day.
I think that the two of us could do some real damage. The dwarf would go bursting in with his holy might of Torm and cause a scene. I'd like to avoid that.
I think that's not unreasonable. I'll give it some consideration. Are
Very well.
Are you meeting anywhere?
Yes. I'll. Do we know the meeting location at this point?
You do. That's something Bade would have relayed to you.
Okay, I will relay that information to him.
I'll show up if I'm interested, but don't wait on me if I don't show.
Very well. And then I will take my leave.
All right. Sven, is there anyone you'd like to speak with?
Yeah, I want to talk to Green.
All right. You go and find Green Imsa. She is still green.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you over there. You were blending in with the grass. Oh.
Oh.
She'll give you a disgusted look and turn away.
Hey, we could use someone like you who's super stealthy. Chameleon.
What's green and green and green all over?
You're so cruel. And she'll start to cheer up and run away.
Ow!
All right,
Hey,
so we all
fuck you,
recruited
Cody.
someone. I think we're all going to meet up now, right?
Yeah.
They called her a green lizard, so good job.
Man, I thought my first encounter with the dwarf or with the halfling was bad.
Yep. So you all meet up that night.
You didn't even
Everyone
let me
you-
roll persuade.
You can roll persuade with disadvantage.
I'm salvaging this.
If you get 2 good rolls, you recruit her. Well, I'm sorry to say that Sven's persuasion ability is less than subpar. But yeah,
Oh,
you gather
no.
up. You gather up at night at a meeting place. The gnome is there. Tijert is there, and Bade is there as well, even though he was not explicitly invited.
Oh, God damn it. That's the last person I wanted to show up.
The gnome will put his hands behind his head and kind of go, "All right, so What's the scheme you got cooked up?
Yes. Tell us, dwarf.
Right. I haven't exactly planned out details of everything yet. But I feel it's quit your grumbling, half elf. It's important to know what exactly it was that I found in there. That gauntlet is not merely a pretty ivory plated gauntlet. That is, in fact, one of the pieces of armor of Thor. So it's incredibly powerful and should not be in the hands of a bunch of cultists. They may be posing. It's maybe a little bit of a shock to y'all, to those of you that haven't encountered them before. But they're not merely travelers, but they are in fact cultists trying to bring about the return of Tiamat or some such bullshit. And having powerful magical artifacts at our disposal is not good for the rest of us who like living in a world that isn't being torn apart by dragon energies or whatever bullshit they're planning. So, as you can imagine, it's quite important for us to get an artifact like that away from them.
Wait, you said dragon energies. Guys, we know someone who hates these cultists more than we do, and they're with us all the time.
Oh, crap.
No.
Remember that blue dragon?
Ravon will
We should
slap a
talk
hand
to her.
over
She could
Sven's
help
mouth.
us.
Sven says we can. Ravon's hand claps over Sven's mouth to stop him from saying anything further. The gnome will say, I don't know anything about, dragons or whatnot, but if they're up to no good, then, that's good enough for me to help you guys out. I mean, it sounds like I'll get a little bit for it, and it'll maybe save me some trouble down the road.
So the gnome did show up?
Yeah.
Oh.
After Corden's story of who they are and what they're trying to do, that's enough to get him to join in.
Okay.
Tyjit is more than happy to participate. Like, I don't like them. I don't like how they look. I don't like their attitude. I don't like how they are bullying Sven and our man of the cloth here earlier. So anything I can do to cause them pain, I'm willing to do.
I am curious how. I might be bringing ruin upon myself, but how did Tyjit react to me slapping my hand over Sven's mouth?
She gave you a glare, but also recognized that he might have been saying foolishness. But so.
All right.
And Bade will kind of shrug his shoulder and say, "Oh, this is all well and good, but is there a plan that you got going on here? I have my own suggestion, if you guys are willing to listen."
Why is he here anyway? I asked for green.
Corden here told me that to gather all you guys up, and I figured I'd tag along and see what's going on.
Would your plan involve some sort of distraction involving you trying to sell your ale?
He'll give you a grin. I see you've caught on pretty quick, Ravon. But that way, even if the scheme doesn't quite work out for you, that's unfortunate. But, I've made myself some money, and they aren't any the wiser to my involvement.
I hate to agree with you, but that was the plan I was going to suggest myself.
I have you thinking like a mere merchant yet, Ravon. Yeah,
Okay,
so
if we sneak in, if he sells a bunch of ale, but we're inside the bottles. Wait. Where's this going?
everyone will give Sven an odd look. Tiger will say, Sven, we want to get him to get in with them, but we don't want to get in them.
Oh,
No.
okay. I'm with this.
Yeah, so the way I see it is, if I heard correctly earlier and they were calling Gordon the beer dwarf, then they're probably quite partial to the drink. I've got a couple of reserve casks of some elvish honey mead that I haven't been sold yet, and that stuff is quite potent. And it sells for quite a pretty penny, and from what I saw earlier, they have quite a bit of cash on hand to go around. So I'll go up to them on the night of your choosing, and I'll say, hey guys, I know that there is a bit of a kerfuffle earlier, so here's some good peace mead. At a discount, of course. So you enjoy and we'll forget the troubles, and hopefully we can, ease the tensions between our two groups.
Meanwhile, Ravon will look at the gnome and blink a couple times and go, the gnome and I sneak in and look for the gauntlet. Yes?
I can do some sneaking on my tippy toes. As long as you don't mind me taking anything else that catches my fancy while we're there.
As long as it is not something that will catch their attention, as it were. The only thing that, aside from the gauntlet, the only thing that should go missing are baubles that they won't miss. Perhaps we can substitute the gauntlet for something that looks like it. As obviously, Ravon is speaking from experience here.
Something that looks like it. That's not too bad. I will admit I have not spoken to too many of the other people in this wagon caravan, but maybe one of them can, make some sort of replica before we do this jaunt. Or at least something that looks pretty close to it so they won't notice it's missing.
Good plan.
Taijit will speak up and say, and what do you want me to do?
Well,
What do it...
look, in the...
What can two angry dwarves possibly do?
Well, things get ugly. So do we.
Aye, in the event that there's going to have to be let to know that you're going to be on our side. You're going to be ready to bash some heads with us.
I'll be more than happy. I hope I get the chance. And she has her teeth are bared in a bloodthirsty grin.
I hope
So
it doesn't
do I.
come to that. I'd rather get this done quiet, without notice. We still need to be in this caravan.
Aye, if you all do your jobs right, I won't have skulls. But know that I'm not going to let them disappear into Waterdeep with that gauntlet in their position. Front to all that I stand for, and an affront to my God.
So is there a firm timeline we're going to follow? As Spade. We're only got a couple more. We're only going to be on this road for a couple more weeks before we arrive at Waterdeep.
Make sure we find an opening.
We've got, what, 2 months left?
Month and a half.
Month and a half, okay.
We're about halfway. Oh, we got Paul.
Hey!
Hi.
I don't know if he's been here a while, but I just noticed.
I just heard him join Discord.
No, he just joined.
Hi guys, I just joined.
Hello.
Hi, how's Pierre?
I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom quick.
He is sleeping now and having night terrors.
Oh no.
I blame the fact that I played Bloodborne for him. I blame the fact that I played Bloodborne for him when he was very, very little.
He'll grow up to be a very
He's
good hunter.
Still very, very little, Paul.
Alright, when I played in front of him, he could only see 8 inches in front of his face, so I think he's good. But he does get night terrors.
I don't think he has object permanence yet, so hopefully he'll
Not
be.
positive, but
I don't know what the cutoff for that is.
he has memory though. He's got very good memory. Yeah,
He'll be a force to reckon with, I think.
That's not
Give him a
important.
couple years.
We gotta fill Paul in on this. This is a big heist.
This
I'll
is a.
let you two do that while I grab something quick.
All right.
Oh,
So
why do I not like the sound of this?
you're really not gonna like the
It's
sound of
just
this.
like the Italian job, Paul. We're gonna. I don't know.
Basically, the cultists' wagon. We were on rough terrain, and their wagon took a turn, but it took it too sharp, and it fell over. And a bunch of baubles and such fell out of one of the crates. Corden and I noticed that among the very expensive jewelry and such, there were a couple masks of ivory, and Corden got a nat 20, so he saw. We both saw a silver gauntlet, but he recognized it as a piece of Torm's armor, and he immediately tried to bull rush the cultists and get it from them, and they were not happy. And then they went, "Hey, it's that dwarf from the camp. He caused the kobolds to riot." And they attempted to cut his head off. I tried to sneak around. I was going to make a move to steal the gauntlet, but then Esbara Jose came out of nowhere and went, "Hey, everybody! Peace and love, man!" And everyone except Sven got charmed somehow.
So we'll take it easy. Have a Danish.
Yeah, one of those things. And so now Corden got an Ocean's 11 crew together of Bade, unfortunately.
Well, there's only 7 of us, so we're.
Yeah, well, whatever. Corden's 7. But Bade, for some reason, because he's a drunken loudmouth, but I'm sure he won't say anything.
I don't even know who that is. I haven't.
He's the guy I was
missed
working
so
for.
much.
He was the guy I was working for who was
Okay.
mistreating his horses. He's the ale guy. Then, that dwarf that you pissed off last game?
Yeah.
Yep, she's in our group. The
Wait, it was a dwarf that I pissed off?
yeah,
Dwarf woman.
dwarf woman.
Super angry all the time.
Oh yeah, because the person that Henry.
Yeah, because you
His friends
were
are-
like, it was a prank on Sven, and she probably is planning your death right now. But then I talked to the rock gnome, who is a gambler and a scammer, and he and I right now the plan is that he and I are going to sneak in while Bade distracts the cultists with beer and
Worked
ale.
before.
Yeah, and I did my glitter gold thing, and I do have a free 20 to use, so keep that in mind. But basically, the plan is Bade goes in as a distraction. Me and the gnome sneak in. The gnome is doing this because we promised that he could have whatever else he can grab, as long as it's
Whole bunch of riches there.
as long as it's stuff that they won't notice is gone, he can take what he wants. Is the only important thing we're going to steal that they would definitely notice is gone is the gauntlet, but we're going to find someone to make a replica and do the old Indiana Jones switcheroo. Kind of like what I did with the ring of protection I got.
We're gonna have somebody make a replica of plate gauntlets.
Yes.
They're just gonna
They're
draw a
it's
Torm
just
symbol
a-
on it.
Yeah, it's it's just going to be a placeholder. Just so they can,
But we've already got a gauntlet that they're just drawing it on.
This part isn't important, Paul. It's
No,
it's all
no,
a paper
If
mache.
making a plate gauntlet would take probably months.
I mean, I don't know. The gnome is going to find someone who will
Okay.
have one. So it's
He isn't doing that.
who is doing that then? Bade?
No,
One of you guys.
Oh wait. Well, who said they were going to find someone?
suggested that he could find someone. He's not going to go out of his way to do it.
Oh, okay.
Who's gonna make like the realistic mask for us?
There might be someone among the NPCs who can
Yeah.
do that sort of thing,
Yeah.
Sven
I-
needs an old person mask. It's
or
bad.
someone who might, have their
Like-
own plate gauntlet that they will give you to
Yeah.
pretty up.
Basically, this is a bad idea and only can go wrong, but we're doing it
So
because
the only
otherwise
reason that we're stealing it is because Corden wants the gauntlet out of their hands.
yes,
For
because it's
fun.
a holy relic.
This is an awesome encounter. I love this.
I mean, it's yeah.
And Paul, you would know from an earlier event that the Asbarajos, the Red Wizard, cast Calm Emotions on
Oh
a
yeah.
large number of people.
On a large number of people. So
Like-
he's pretty
like
crazy
an-
strong then.
Like an entire crowd of people.
I mean,
So,
he might have
yeah.
met Magic Dead, honestly. Like, which is he's no big deal. He's probably a level 2 wizard. Garbage.
Garb noob.
He's a big time garb noob.
Got it.
Yeah. So that is where we are right now. Things that are less important. Sven has almost gotten a girlfriend. In the dwarf.
That can't
Lady.
be canon.
Oh, you wait.
For everything to go horribly wrong.
Also, Sven did try to get the green human, the one who's just completely green from head to toe, to join our cause because she blends in with grass. How did that go, Sven?
Well, she's such a good hider that she's actually here. I got a really good... If she's a chameleon, maybe we can have her pretend to be the gauntlet.
For some reason, she ran away crying when he told her that. I don't know why. Thankfully, Taijit wasn't there to see that.
I think she would have recognized that it's par for the course.
I think she would have. So yeah, basically we're about to do this grand heist.
All
we
for a
just
good cause
gonna-
make you more powerful.
Yeah. Corden, you can roll a religion check if you want, so if you can figure out if you want to see if you know what that would actually do for you.
Ooh, true. Ooh, baby.
No idea.
Wow.
Great. Good to see I'm well versed.
You think Torm would be happy by this? That's all that matters.
Yes, true.
He approves
Edwin's
of this
not impressed by
of this
the
stealing
shenanigans.
from people.
Also, I gave
It's
my
not.
solemn word that
Okay,
I
no, no,
wouldn't.
no, no. This ain't stealing. There's no way that they got that gauntlet under any sort of in any sort of lawful way.
Sven's been hearing this Torm name a lot. Can I do a religion check on that?
Gedwin is not at all impressed by this shenanigans, and
Hey, you and me both.
also I gave my solemn word to the Red Wizard guy that I wouldn't interfere with the cult.
You lied to him.
Sven, you know that Torm is
I
a
did roll a bluff
lawful
check.
deity whose main boons are duty, loyalty, and righteousness. His symbol is a right-handed gauntlet with upright with the palm forward.
I'm all of those things too.
He's always looking for worshippers if you're interested.
Yeah, it's true.
Sven has had a really interesting run-in in the past with a religion, and he doesn't like to talk about it.
So you guys kind of have your plan hashed out?
Let the sneaky ones do the stealing, and if it comes to it, get in there.
We
Do
got the
some bad.
muscle as backup, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone will go their separate ways, and we'll roll over to the next day.
Do we have a task for me yet with this mission?
You can do an unseen servant, right? That'll be sneaky.
Yeah, that would help me and the gnome.
Yeah. Another thing I might be able to do is distract the Red Wizard because he seems to be
Yeah, he might be
seems to
the
be
biggest.
meddling in everything.
Yeah,
He's pretty smart, so
having Gedwin on Red Wizard duty is a good idea.
yeah, I agree.
But if he's by the caravan, my unseen servant can help. He can go. Let's go to my darn character sheet because I think I have some of my spells. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, I guess Sven, Corden, and Lady Dwarf. I don't even know her name yet. They could be the muscle. They can jump in if things get ugly. They'll have Ravon and the gnome go in. And,
Yeah, my unseen servant can be within 60 feet of me, or that's how far away he can be.
That
that's,
might not work.
that's a lot of distance still. 60 feet's a long ways.
60 feet.
That's a long distance.
suppose.
I mean, if Gedwin ostensibly is staying guard for the Red Wizard near a wagon, the Unseen Servant has a lot of leeway.
Yep. I mean, he can technically lift probably the gauntlet, but he can't do. He would have to move it very slowly, and it wouldn't be invisible.
Mm.
Can he be a lookout? Can he see things?
Yeah, but he can't communicate.
Not to you?
No.
Can't communicate like with a
No.
signal of some
Nope.
sort? Dropping a rock?
Unseen Servants literally can't do very much for
It's
communication.
mindless, shapeless, and it's just a force.
Yep.
So it can't like gesture. It can't think anything. It can't observe.
So
I have
it's
to
just
literally
Mage Hand
be-
Plus, essentially.
Yeah, Unseen
basically.
Servants have been nerfed in 5th edition.
Okay. Well, there goes
Alright,
my
so-
metagaming. I
So you
tried.
roll over to the next day. Travel continues as normal. Tensions are high again between the merchants and the.
I guess when
cultists.
are we doing this?
Yeah, I am.
Well, that might be up to Corden.
Well, so the day. I mean,
I think you've got your fan blown in the mic.
yeah, that ain't me. I think that's
That's
Paul.
Alex.
Alex.
Oh,
It's better now.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
on
it's-
push to talk, so
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys
no, yeah.
can't hear any perennial sounds.
Yeah,
coming
I
from
guess
me.
it's on Corden to decide the time, the day, the whenever. Whether it's tomorrow or a week from now or...
yeah. I think we gotta go. Well, it's a risk, but I think if we go later, closer to Waterdeep, then if things go tits up, we only have. It wouldn't be as long of a distance to travel to make it after we've had to, butcher them and leave them for dead. It's less likely that the caravan breaks down completely if we wait a little while, I think. Kind of let.
So should I arrange a meeting with the Red Wizard at the time that we're doing it, or should I just go over there so we don't let them know that something is going to happen at this time?
Well, it's going to be a bit down the line anyway.
Yeah.
Where tensions are high, we're not going to go talk to them.
Yeah.
Keep our
Much as
distance.
don't forget to-
Hope
much
they're
as
not
don't
planning
forget to
anything for us.
They might, hopefully they might loosen their guard the more time passes or something.
Right.
Maybe when they,
Okay.
you could talk to the Red Wizard as Bade is kind of into his shtick. You can go up and say, "Oh, it is very nice that we are all getting along, eh?"
And not
That kind of
suspicious at all. Don't
Yes.
go. It was a little Russian almost. It was bad. It wasn't actually Russian.
We are getting along, yes.
Nobody gets along in Soviet Russia. But government kill anybody that don't not get along. So it's okay. Everybody gets along.
I apologize to Russia for calling my accent Russian.
I did too.
I
think
never apologize.
All right, so I guess this week will just go by then.
the best opportunity will be
Nothing.
It was-
wait.
It was day 3 along this rocky outcropping. The rest of the week goes without incident, and you guys arrive in Daggerford,
Oh boy.
which is a fair-sized city to the south of Waterdeep. There was a period of time where Daggerford tried to set itself up as the alternative to Waterdeep as kind of a competing city, but it never really grew all that much. So now it's mostly just a stay-over spot for travelers on their way to Waterdeep from Baldur's Gate. But there's a pretty nice inn there that you guys are able to stop at. And you can all get your own rooms again.
Is Sven going to go see Taijit?
Oh boy, I think he might. I think he was told to.
He was told to. With a little bit of a wink.
Do you think he's going to end up having the alcohol poured on him again? And then run around
can
in a
only
stupor for all night?
Well, if Sven is receptive, he will have a nice romantic evening with Taijit at the inn.
Nope.
No, come back, Sven, says Taijit as he flees the room.
Oh,
Damn it.
But before anything starts, there would be a change.
There would be.
Yes.
oh, this is new.
He walks in the room and then faints.
Uh-oh.
Sven, wake up! She'll kind of hesitantly, jab you in the face with her foot.
Oh no, Sven.
Ah, ha, 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 ha. Who dares summon me?
That's a good picture.
Thank you. Ah, ha, ha, ha.
Do you flee the room?
Yeah.
All right.
Any of the candles in the room, instantly the flames turn blue.
All 25 of the candles Taijit had lit go out.
Oh, they don't go out, they turn blue.
Oh, they
It's
turn blue.
Magic. Pyrotechnics.
Oh, well, she'll snap her fingers as if and say, "Damn, I'll have to snag him another time." So, this creature now exists.
Who dares summon me?
Oh God.
Ha ha ha. I instantly I grabbed before I leave. I grabbed the bed sheets and draped them over my head.
All right.
It's
If
like a
Corden,
cloak.
Gedwin, or Ravan are still out in the common area, you'll
Alright.
see Sven with a bed sheet wrapped around him running through.
I start verbally harassing anyone who gives me a funny look. Was it you who summoned me? Foolish humans. Foolish
There is a-
mortals.
The first person you bump into is a female gnome who is staying at the inn.
Oh. What is it you desire? Is it wealth? Is it power?
I desire to go to Waterdeep. There's a caravan here I'll be joining up with.
All is possible, but it will
I
cost
certainly
you
hope
your
you're not
soul.
I prefer my soul where it is, thank you. I'll just be paying in coin to travel, I think.
Ah, I run away.
Damn freak.
I go to the group.
Okay. Group. That thing approaches you.
Oh, yes, I know it must be you.
What are you doing?
Was it not you who summoned me?
I'm sorry.
Corden, Ravan, and Gedwin, you recognize that this is not Sven or Capel. This seems to be a new personality manifested in Sven.
Oh no. Exactly, who are you?
You summoned me. You would of course know that I am Devil Bogley. I hail from Isle Oblivion.
Oh god.
You've summoned me into this world to do your bidding.
Gordon immediately orders another beer.
I think that's the problem.
I know I don't have to drink to deal with this. Jeez.
My bidding is that you get some sleep.
But that isn't your bidding at all. I know what you desire.
And what do you think I desire?
A gauntlet. Hewn from silver. I see it now, in my mind's eye.
Where are we right now? Are we just in the...
You're in the in-common room in Daggerford.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Cool. I move to slap my hand over this guy's mouth. Devil Bogley.
Alright, there you have success with that.
Be quiet.
I'll take that as your first wish. And we'll speak no longer after this. Last word.
Ravan stares at him expectantly and starts lowering his hand back towards his side. Keeps giving him a side glance. I think we may have an issue. This one seems even more unhinged.
He hasn't asked anyone about a treasure sword yet. This is an
No.
improvement.
He has beautiful red eyes too.
It's just a trick of the light.
Okay.
Definitely is a weird red glint to them, though. I've been summoned. There we go.
Fantastic.
Say
Is there
hello
anything
to
else
the
Bob
party's
will do?
sorcerer.
Is there anything else Bogley will do?
He's just gonna, I don't know. He'll follow the group.
All right. He doesn't have anything better to do, and
Yeah.
they might be recognizable.
Subconsciously to him, they're recognizable to him, so he believes they're the ones who summoned him.
Okay. Makes sense to me. All right.
He'll mention how odd it is that anytime he's summoned, there's always. Well, he knows the candles and incense are usually part of the summoning, but he questions why there's always a nude woman. It's not part of the ritual actually, but it's quite nice. I'll admit it's not necessary. Stop doing that.
Right. Well then. Corden, have you found someone who could make a suitable substitute?
I cannot say that I have. It was
Wow.
Want to see information on that?
what?
Did it dump all the information on it? It did. Okay.
It did.
I'm looking at.
Good stuff. Is there anyone would like to talk to while they're at the inn, or should I move on to the next week of travel?
Yeah, I think we should move on.
Yeah.
I'm ready to move on.
So we roll over to the next day. As you guys get ready for travel, all of you make perception checks.
Right.
Hey, let's go, boys. Escapes me.
All right. Corden, you notice that the front, as you're just kind of inspecting the wagon as part of your duties working for Lai, since he hasn't hired anyone else, you notice that the front axle under the wagon you're on looks like it's been tampered with and kind of sanded down to the point where you know it would snap after a couple of hours travel on the road. And if that snapped, then that might have caused injury to you or Lai, or perhaps even death if it was a severe enough crash.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I'm gonna
And Vaughn and Gedwin, you notice that a female gnome who joined the caravan yesterday, she is yet another recruit onto Bade's wagon who just seems to be picking up stowaways. You notice that pretty much throughout the entire morning, and maybe even a little bit of last night, that she has shown a lot of interest in your group. She's been keeping an eye on you and Corden and Vogley.
Hmm.
And as you guys are kind of looking side-eyeing her as she climbs in the Bates wagon and looking around, you realize that she's noticed that you've noticed her interest in you as well.
How does she react?
She reacts as if nothing has happened.
Okay.
Gordon, you've learned about the wagon axle. Is there anything you'd like to do?
I'm certainly going to inform my employer first, but then I'm also going to I'm going to go to go to various wagons of the party members and really kind of just any. Well, I suppose.
You don't see any other tampering with everyone else's wagons, but you can roll investigation to double check. Yeah, you don't see
nice.
anything quite like the obvious sabotage that happened to Lai's wagon. When you tell Lai about it, he'll say, "Oh, this is a concerning development. I had heard about the large amount of treasure in that one merchant's wagon with that crate that smashed open, and I had some interest, so I took upon myself one evening to ask one of their merchants a couple of questions to see what they're carrying and if it might be for sale. And they firmly rebutted me. Maybe he didn't take well to my questions, or maybe we have some active termites underneath. But I have a couple of spare axles carried in the wagon. Always be prepared, Gordon. So, and feel free to please replace that before we set out."
Did you tell us about the issue?
Yeah. I told you all that there was very obviously a Sabbath axle on our wagon.
Well, while Corden is saying this, I also tell him Bade picked up that female gnome. Seems she's been watching us.
Oh, Alex, by the way.
Yeah.
We talked about Paul having mending and then not having mending.
Yes.
I'm actually taking that instead of create bonfire, just so you know.
All right.
So I've got mending.
Sounds good.
I will inform Corden about this.
You're very bad Dark Souls. We need someone who can make a bonfire.
Yes. Oh, master, I can fulfill your wish. Whatever you desire, I can fix this wagon instantly. Wahahaha.
You cast mending on the wagon
I
axle?
cast mending on the wagon axle.
Gordon, before your eyes, the wood becomes more full and repairs itself under Bogley's magic.
Well, that's certainly a useful skill to have around, isn't it? Well, it'll save us one of our axles at least.
Well, this is a useful man. You didn't tell me that your friend had a magical talent, Gordon.
Well, we can't say that the normal idiot around does. Yes, nor did the other one that was more competent.
I must return to my den before the heat of the blazing sun causes me to take more damage.
Hey, this one's. Hey, this new one's a bit of an oddball. Not sure what I'm doing there.
As a dorp, I can respect wanting to be out of the sun. I like this one more than the other two.
That was already proved more useful than the
You
other
also
two,
saved
that's
him money,
for sure.
yeah.
Is it true? Aye.
So you guys start out on travel for the day. About when it gets closer to evening, there is a large storm that comes upon the wagons. It's really bad. There's rain, lightning, and strange whistling sounds on the wind. It's bad enough that Lasvius calls a stop to the wagons early, and the storm continues through into the next day. And the wagons take a day off of travel as everyone tries to weather the storm and keep their stuff safe. And But the storm finally breaks on the middle of the night after 2 days. And when you guys awaken, you look around and see the surrounding countryside blanketed with fungus. It's growing everywhere, including on the road.
Can I do a nature check?
You can.
Ooh, nat 20.
Oh, well. It looks like a fungus.
I'll leave this to the expert dwarf.
As you and Corden kind of try to figure out what these are,
We're
Corden
surrounded by
takes a
fun
step.
guys.
Corden takes a step forward and steps on a mushroom. It's almost impossible not to with how many there are everywhere. And it emits a puff of black spores and a moan of pain when you step on it.
Nice.
We've run into these before.
You have not, but Ravon, you know that these are shrieker mushrooms. And shrieker mushrooms.
These aren't the mushrooms that were in that cave?
No,
They're
these
not
are different.
myconids. Yeah, we met myconids, not these.
So just step.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shriekers are, for the most part, independent of ordinary fungus. They don't cause damage or anything. They're just, when you step on them, they just emit black spores that they use to reproduce. And they let out a moan of pain when they are young, like these ones are. But when they're full adults, they let out a loud scream that can be heard for, in a 100-yard radius around it.
Ooh.
He thinks that we may be able to use these to cover some of the noise of our activities.
However, your merchants that are your charges are terrified of these things.
Wah! Fear not, I could burn these all in a field of fire. Should you wish it.
Letta will look at you and say, I do not burn them. Sven, she'll say with a question mark at the end of the name. Do not burn them, Sven. We have the sounds they make spook the horses well enough. We don't need a big old bonfire causing them even more consternation.
Sven will go back into his wagon, or Bogley, or whatever his name is at this point.
I will put his hand on Corden and say, Corden, what the fuck are those?
Yeah. You'll have to ask the ranger about it.
I've already lost a day. I don't want to lose any more, and time is money.
I stepped on one and it made a noise.
Just, I think groaned at me when I stepped on it. Not inclined to believe they're a normal mushroom. Can't say that I've ever had one groan at me when I bit into a pasty.
Well, at the very least, they don't seem to be causing any issues right now. But they are unsettling creatures.
Would I know how to?
You do know how to get rid of them. You know that because these are still young and they've sprouted up.
Do I know
pretty
how
quickly after the
to
rainstorm.
take care of these?
Yeah. You think that any scythe, broom, or even just a large tree branch, just sweep it from side to side, and you'll just clear them out.
I will go up to Longnose and let him know.
He looks pretty disturbed by the mushrooms, and he and his
taking
teamsters
care
have
not
taken
to
some time to clear them out.
not to step on the mushrooms.
Make a acrobatics check. You're not going to step on any.
Sure thing. 23.
You're pretty deft. You're able to make it up to the front of the caravan without stepping on anything. And when you approach Lazius Long, I was like, Gordon, do you know what these are, Mr. Ravon? I'm sorry, I confused you for your dwarf companion.
No, it's quite all right. He says through gritted teeth. They are shrieker mushrooms. All we have to do to get rid of them is get a few men with scythes, perhaps some large branches, and just sweep them side to side. They will not hurt anybody. They are completely harmless in this infantile stage.
Oh, all right, that's good to know. I'll spread the information up and down the wagon. If you would be kind enough to stay up here and be in the front of the caravan, and since you seem to know how to deal with them, if you could deal with them yourself and get rid of them, I'd appreciate it. I'll confirm that's okay with Nuhar and Selvik before you do, though.
Very well.
All right.
Very well.
So
I will need a scythe if you have one.
the guy Teamster can have one. He'll get you
If
a
not,
pretty rudimentary scythe.
I will need time to find a branch.
No, Lazius Long knows they will get you a pretty
Or
rudimentary scythe. that will work to clear
quarter
these
staff
things
would
out.
probably be fine too, I assume.
Extendo weapon.
All right. I
Yeah,
will.
you're-
I
You're
will.
able to get a scythe.
Okay.
And Mr. Longnose will tell everyone else how to clear these out, and we'll come back to you and say, "We'll lead the way, Mr.
Okay.
Ravon. I'll direct
I
your
will.
path
I
as you
will
clear them out."
begin. Okay.
As you clear these things out, and you hear every
Very
single
well.
time you make a sweep, you hear
And start clearing them out.
as you sweep these things from side to side, make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
It's working.
Oh boy. 17.
All right. You start to feel like pangs of grief and remorse as thousands of tiny cries of pain erupt from these mushrooms every time you clear them out. But you have a pretty high mental fortitude, and you're able to resist breaking down after you're hearing these sounds. The caravan is able to
Oh, boy.
proceed, but slowly, as Ravon, and he will be joined by Skarsdag to clear these out, since he has a pretty good reach and his pull can clear them out really quick. And Ravon, as you, after a couple of hours of this, make a perception check.
Um, okay.
You don't notice anything particularly untoward. You just notice that the
Who did this?
Paul, or not Paul, we lost John.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Yeah. Hi. I don't know what happened.
Jonathan, you're
So,
back.
John, you notice that, as time goes by, as you're clearing these out, that these mushrooms grow pretty quickly.
Hmm.
They were the size of champagne corks when you first woke up and started clearing them out, but within about an hour, they've grown 6 inches tall, and a couple of hours later, they're grow to about a foot tall.
Oh. What is full grown?
Is there anything
look
magical
like
going
for
on here?
kids?
You can make an Arcana check.
I will happily make an Arcana check.
That one turned into Sven.
It's not. You don't think it's anything magical. You think that maybe they're just like all these spores waiting to grow just beneath the surface dirt level, and the big storm you just had gave them the opportunity to grow. No, you don't think there's anything particularly untoward going on here? But it is pretty disheartening. Fortunately for you, since Ravon is up front clearing most of them, you don't need to worry about making constitution checks to resist the quite honestly horrifying moans of pain from these mushrooms as they're cleared out.
About how far?
Alex, would I be able to either play my music to kind of keep spirits high with all the mushroom screams or whatever, or
I
would that
think
help?
so. Yeah, I think so. Roll performance.
Alrighty. Yeah, I was looking if I had silent spell and I don't. That would be even better.
Wow.
You are. What kind of performance are you putting on?
I am putting on something something opposite of the noise the mushrooms are making. So I'm doing something upbeat and pleasant and jovial.
Your performance is able to put the minds of a lot of the merchants at ease. Many of them were not happy about having to proceed through this mushroom-plagued part of the road, but you do a good song that's jovial, upbeat. It kind of takes their mind off of the horror of the environment around them, and they're able to proceed without incident. Actually, everyone should get 250 experience points for getting around this encounter the best way possible.
Just to not lose our heads.
Yep.
5,400.
You travel
Right.
through these mushrooms for a couple of days, and then they just kind of wear themselves thin as you get to the edge of the forested area, and you enter more of a bare plains and hills area where there's not a lot growing in it, and the merchants whisper among themselves that this area is called the Fields of the Dead due to the wars that were waged here long ago, to the point where even to this day you can still find the bones and armor of the people who fought in the wars of long ago in this area. This area is also known to have undead sprout from the ground as they continue to fight the wars that into their restless spirits are still going on and will attack anyone they see. And partway through this trip across the fields of the dead, you both hear you start to hear on the wind the whoops and war howls of hobgoblins.
Ooh.
And
How audible are they?
they are pretty audible. It sounds like a lot of them. It sounds like a lot of them, and that they are getting closer.
I'm going to go ahead and comprehend languages on that one.
All right. Then in that case, Bogley and anyone else who speaks Goblin will
I'll
hear
do
the
comprehend
chants.
languages as well, but I'm going to stick by the person I'm supposed to be bodyguarding.
Or you're
I'll
not.
translate
You're kind of
for
in
them.
the. You're in the second card, I think. You're manning that one.
Yeah,
'Cause
you
what's her
hear
face said she didn't
whoops
need a bodyguard.
and cheers of
I-
kill, get the gold, get the treasure, kill, get the gold, get the treasure, kill, and it just accelerates in ferocity as the sounds get closer.
I also speak Goblin, so
Oh.
Foolish mortals who guard their treasure so jealously. You are under attack right now by goblins. I
And
sense
it
them in the
long
distance
before-
using my powers.
before the goblins come riding over the hills and into view of the wagons.
I'm going to.
If there's any spells you guys would like to prepare or busts you'd like to cast beforehand, you have more than enough warning.
Oh, just a heads up, Alex. You know how I had that nice scale armor or whatever I had before?
Yeah.
I've replaced that with the bed sheet.
Oh, good.
So
oh boy.
I don't got 19 AC anymore.
And everyone roll a. Everyone can roll a dungeoneering check, as well as the goblins approach.
Okay.
Is that still a skill?
No, it's not.
We haven't said engineering. There was an equivalent. Nature is probably going to be the best one then. Nature or survival.
I will do survival. Oh God.
All right, two will do survival.
I'm getting the opposite rolls from last time.
Oh,
All right, everyone except Ravon, who has no idea what these hobgoblins are. He specializes in dragons, after all. You recognize these as Urshani hobgoblins, which are unusually savage even for those humanoids. They've adorned themselves with wolf furs, paint warg heads onto their shields, and incorporate other wolf parts and icons into their armor and clothing. It looks as though that it's not only your wagons being attacked, but the whole caravan
oh shucks.
is under attack. So roll initiative.
Boy.
If there's a chance before they get close enough that I can shout to Sven and Ravon to come closer so that I can bless us.
Yeah,
Okay.
you are welcome to position yourselves on the battlefield as you want.
Okay.
I've got to stay close to my wagon, unfortunately.
I will I'll turn to Noir and Selvik and say, stay safe. I will actually. I can't. No, I can't. How close are they to? Okay, he's. Oh, Cordon's right there. Okay, so I can just hop out.
Hey, lads.
All right, I will hop out of the wagon right here,
Hey.
right next to Cordon.
Come closer, elf. Short sword. Come closer that the blessings of Thor might bring us victory. That's all.
A devil has no business receiving blessings.
You know, this reminds me of someone. I think
Is
his
that
name
someone
is
really
Owain.
embarrassing?
Yeah, I think his name is Owain. His arm hurt a lot. Drink, Mistletoe.
No, I'm going to say this is an even more embarrassing display of LARPing.
You know that picture I posted like last year of Ravon as what's his name from Pokemon Sun and Moon? Edgelord. Edge Maverick.
Gladeon.
Yeah. Is that closer to to what Bogley is?
Absolutely.
What a guy.
See, as long as you guys get within 30 feet, I can cast Bless on you. I can target up to 3. So myself and
Are you going to hop out of the wagon?
I mean,
I am right there, so
I can be there, and you'll be within
10,
reach.
15, 20, 25.
Yeah, you'll be within reach.
Cats. Hey.
And that'll for up to a minute. So I guess what is that? 10 turns,
Yes.
or I guess casting before we initiate combat. Maybe it's down to 8 turns or something like that.
Each round is 6 seconds, right? Oh, it should be 10, yeah. 10 turns, I would think.
Yeah, it's just casting it before combat. How much time
Right.
is in between?
So what buffs are all going out?
Well, I'm sure
Who?
Gedwin's got some sort of buffs going on too with his. He can give someone a D6 or whatever to something to some rolls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Inspiration.
Actually, yeah.
Well,
Since we've got
yeah,
time to
so,
prepare, I can
right.
do that for multiple. No, I think I can only do it for one person at a time. So I will give that to Sven, not short sword. Sven short sword's the man. He can, if he can't do it, then he'll just have another clone to do it for him.
Yep.
So, Seth, what does Bless do?
So Bless, whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the attack roll or saving throw.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, it does have concentration, so I need to.
Okay. Well, you don't seem to be in any immediate danger right now, so.
No, so it'll hold for a bit.
So it looks like Ravon is getting blessed.
Looks like it.
Gedwin, will you be moving within Cordon's bless radius before combat?
I mean, again, only 3. Well, so I guess if that Sven short sword, not Sven's short sword, says I can't be blast, then
All right, yeah. If that's the case, then I'll have to go and replace him. So I get the blessed.
Yeah, if you are here, you'll be within reach.
Well, I want to start the fight. By my wagon because I'm the bodyguard now.
All right. In that case,
Oh, where'd the hobgoblin go that was down there?
they've all been grouped up on top. They're kind
Okay.
of scattered around the map.
Then that's where I'll be then.
All right. The goblins are approached and have started to charge. Corden, you may go. You don't really recognize what they're saying, but it's incredibly aggressive.
let's see. What are spells? There's too many to cast. Concentration, so I don't want to do that. Okay.
What is that mini you're using for lie?
That's a gold dwarf.
Oh. I can make it. So that first gablin that I can reach, I'm going to charge my way over. Screaming shouting for Torm to
Do something.
aid my. Yeah, shouting for Torm to bless my strikes and bring down these murderous wretches. I'm going to engage the nearest hobgoblin to me.
I will miss.
I'll miss.
I will miss.
Son of. Oh, wait a second. Duh. Hold on.
That will hit with that extra 3.
Aha!
Oh,
You swing your hammer, and the goblin kind of starts to weave out of the way, but you feel Torm's hand guiding your strike as your hammer suddenly switches its direction and hits him in the side of the face.
Mm-hmm. Oh, me oh my. I'll take that. Wait, no, that's bad. No, that's good.
Yeah, you land a good solid hit on the hobgoblin and hear the crunch of his jaw as it takes the warhammer's blow. And the hobgoblins will attack in kind on their turn. Everyone roll perception.
12. Ooh.
That's not the right roll.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Bullet
misclicked.
blew it. I have
Alright.
advantage on perception. It does
Great.
not.
In that case, everyone, this hobgoblin back here that I'm pinging with the pink circle, you notice that he has pulled out 2 war drums that he is banging a beat on.
Oh, that's not good.
And and those of you who are speak goblin or comprehending languages right now hear him chant, "They break before our shields, they fall beneath our blades. Their home is ours to conquer, their children are our slaves. At Quran, victory is ours." And he will, as he puts out that chant, the other hobgoblins seem to be filled with vigor and bloodlust as they run forward to attack.
That's not good.
The one with the bow back here will shoot at Ravon.
Okay.
I don't think a 7's going to hit him.
Nope.
The hobgoblin in front of Corden will swing at him. Fury in his eyes. Will 16 hit Corden?
No, sir.
All right. This one right here seems to be a mage of some sort, and whispers and chants something in Goblin. Those of you who speak it can hear it invoking something called Meglabet to smite her enemies. And Corden, make a Constitution save.
Constitution save. Oh, heavens.
Should be.
Dang, Alex, more
Hey.
savages that can't even speak English.
More of them.
Oh, yeah, they can't even speak French. Those
Trying to do a
savages.
suggestion on their leader, but comprehend languages doesn't let me speak their language.
Nope.
Just lets me understand it.
Corden, you start to feel necrotic energy ripping away at your flesh. You notice that where this black energy strikes you, your skin kind of turns black and starts to, and you feel it rotting, and it's a source of incredible pain. So you take 14 necrotic damage.
Oh
You
my.
kind of feel your eyesight going, but you kind of grit your teeth and power through it.
Hmm.
Oof.
Don't
Yeah,
like that.
he needs to go.
Whoops.
This guy with the sword will attack Sven. Or Bogley. He'll get a critical on
Correct.
Bogley.
That'll hit.
Oh boy.
He will strike Bogley with his longsword for 9 damage. And invigorated by the power of the war drum, he not only does he, get a good stabbing on you, but you feel intense pain as the sword kind of twists in your gut before he pulls it back out.
Oh, that hurts.
And you take an additional 8 damage.
All right.
And this one back here with the bow is going to take aim at Gedwin. He fails horribly.
Awesome.
He tries to aim an arrow at you, Gedwin, but some sand kicks up in his face, and he's like, "Rah, sand!" and it shoots off in an errant direction. This goblin here will attack Letta. And then we'll hit her. For 8 damage. And as the fury of the war song courses through him, it deals an additional 8 damage on top of that.
Oof.
All right, go get. And before we go to Gedwin's turn, Letta will attack back at the hobgoblin in front of her with her longsword. And will unfortunately miss. Gedwin, is your
I thought she said you could fight.
Is Letta the person that I'm supposed to be bodyguarding?
He's dead, so you're just guarding the wagon. You're technically supposed to be guarding her, but she has you on this other wagon because she's a trained fighter.
Okay,
She is the one paying you though, so.
yeah, let's get that measuring tool. Awesome, I got a spear. I'm gonna break ranks and defend her because woman. Stacy gave me a funny look. So,
Probably need to tell her chivalry lives.
That will hit.
then I still need to roll a d6 for the lightning. Oh my goodness.
Deal a healthy amount of damage to the goblin as you strike it true and send lightning coursing through it into its body. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
No, I would do some witty banter, but
Any bardic inspiration dice you'd like to hand out?
I already got one on Sven Short Sword.
Okay.
Does that work for damage too, or no?
No, it's only D20 rolls.
Because
Yeah, if he was a combat bard, it would, but
Oh, I am a combat bard.
then yes, it can apply to damage, or you can actually apply that roll to your AC as well.
Nice.
not that would have helped
Go
me against a
Ravon.
critical hit.
Okay. Ravana is going to take a shot at the mage. I think just a regular shot.
They actually have so
you're welcome.
little HP that I think my sleep is gonna do real good to them next turn.
Does a 9 hit?
It does not.
Cool. I will, as a bonus action, I will cast Hunter's Mark on the mage. And
All right.
that'll be my turn.
Okay, go Sven.
All right. So I got a quick question before I take my turn. This wall here, like, is this?
That's not real.
It's not real. Okay. Perfect. Who dares strike at the master of Isle Oblivion, the Great Bogley? I do a quick thing with my hands, and I cast a level 2 Burning Hands with what is it? Freaking a distance spell attached to it. It's gonna be for a big old. What's the I guess it's a save. It's a 13. Is the save they need to hit on? Hold on. Okay, so everything within 30 feet is going to need to make, in a cone, is going to need to make a dexterity saving throw. So, I guess all of them. Maybe not this archer in the back, but. And they're going to take.
Play this as a cone.
It's doubled, so it's going to be 30 feet.
All right.
That looks beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, that looks good.
Perfect.
I think the archer might be just out of range. Let me
Yeah,
check.
I think so.
Okay.
But you had the caster, the war drummer, and the other archer.
Yep.
Do they have to make a save?
Yeah, it's a DC 13 save. Dexterity. That was a garbage roll. 5d6.
The guy in front of you fails. The archer passes.
Half
The
damage.
war drummer passes.
Pass.
The mage also passes. But you fry the guy in front of you. He's gone.
Everyone else
As
takes
you-
6.
As you emit fire from your hands. Is there anything else Bogley would like to do?
Yeah, he's going to move behind the cart over here.
Okay. Go, Corden.
Okay. Well, I'm going to. Yep, I'm just gonna. I'm gonna move. I'm going to take a 5-foot step to position myself for another blow.
A 5-foot step is your movement phase. Or it's your movement action, I guess.
That's perfect. I just don't want to invite a attack of opportunity, but I also want to get closer to after I strike this bitch down. I'm going.
You're welcome, John.
That is something.
That will miss.
Okay, I'm going to use my
Bless dice.
War Priest skill then to launch a second attack as a bonus action.
That will hit.
Oh, wait a second. Fuck, hold on. Let me back up. God, I gotta remember this. Blessing. Oh, shit. I gotta roll concentration first. 14 damage, and that's concentration check.
You don't need to roll a concentration check unless you take damage.
I did. I took damage last turn.
Oh, did you?
The necrotic damage.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so the concentration, I should remember this.
Well, I thought concentration just happened as long as you didn't use another thing that takes concentration.
No, if you take damage.
Both.
Yeah, if I don't, I maintain it as long as I don't cast something else or concentration that automatically drops it. Taking damage, I have to make a Constitution. DC 10 or half the damage I take. Okay, so DC 10. Okay, made it. So then, sorry, I gotta add to that 14.
That's good. That will pass the concentration.
Yep. Does a 16 hit?
No, but that 19-year-old earlier will.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I was making sure that I was getting my right rolls. Okay, so I made that. I was just gonna see if I could give myself the skill. Okay.
You clonk him on the other side of the jaw, and you hear a crunch as his head spins around on his neck, and he collapses.
Ugh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have moved that 5 feet. I should have just saved it. Yeah, should have just saved it and I could have moved into distance. Whatever. Next turn.
Yep. The hobgoblins will go. One with the bow back here will take aim at Gedwin.
He's going to roll
Yeah,
a 1 and hit the other goblin. Oh, that's not a 1.
He'll get a critical hit.
Don't be me and forget your.
And hit for 15 damage. And as the war drum chant courses through his body, he deals an additional 4 damage on top of that, so 19 damage to Gedwin. As this arrow just strikes true right in the gut. This hobgoblin right here will continue to his war chant, banging on the war drums. Kill them all, take their gold, they break before our shields, they fall beneath our blades. Their home is ours to conquer, their children are our slaves. Acheron, Acheron, victory is ours. The mage will back up behind the warcaster and will cast a spell on Corden. She'll hold up her hands, and a number of tiny bolts will streak from her fingers towards Corden. And he will take 14 force damage as these tiny bolts of magic slam into him. This other archer will take another pot shot at Ravon.
Okay.
My Constitution.
He'll miss
boy.
horribly.
Yep.
We don't have bless anymore.
That smells so good. And this other hobgoblin down here will take another sling at Letta.
Oh, I didn't add it to my roll last time. God
He will hit.
Hell.
I think she's down.
Yeah, most likely.
She takes 3 damage,
Wait, that's low. That's good.
but the power of the war chant courses
Oh, that's
through
not
this
good.
goblin
That's
and
not
takes
good.
additional damage.
Not great.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And
she
she will fall unconscious. Go Gedwin. The goblin strikes a blow with his longsword and strikes down Letta.
I reach down and pick up a pinch of fine sand, and I say, "Now you have made me quite put out." And I will cast sleep centered on the middle guy, the I believe the war chief. And so let's roll some 5d8s. 19 hit points worth of creatures starting from lowest to highest around him will pass out.
The archer and the mage pass out, but the other 2 goblins are still up. That will last for a minute until someone hits them.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Um, Screw that bardic inspiration on Henry. I'll throw one down on Ravon. Actually, is he in range? I don't know what the pooping range is on that thing. I'll just do cord.
Yeah, I'm like 45 feet away.
It's a 60-foot range on the bardic inspiration.
Oh, then I'll do
wow.
Ravon. Ravon's probably most likely to do a regular attack.
Okay. That's a D6.
There's the d6.
Yep,
Okay.
to any kind of roll pretty much except spells, I think.
Okay. And I can. Is that one-time use or multiple uses?
It's one roll.
time, and you don't, and you you can do it after you roll, but not after he says whether it's a hit or miss.
Okay. Okay.
Whose turn is it now?
Will be Ravon's.
All right. Feel the bardic energy flowing through me.
Cordon's right in front of you. This is the perfect chance.
He's not in front of me. I'm going to take another shot at the sleeping wizard, who still has Hunter's Mark on him.
You will have
her?
advantage.
Ooh, even better. All right. My character sheet. There it is.
You can't possibly miss.
I swear to God.
Yeah,
At the hit.
All right. Good stuff. 6 damage, plus.
He's dead.
Well, it never hurts. Plus another 1. So, okay, but she's dead?
Yep.
Okay, and with my Hordebreaker, I would like to make another attack on this guy. And I will also move my Hunter's Mark to him.
Why'd you attack the sleeping one?
Because she was within 5 feet of him. So I could do another attack.
Okay.
It's killing 2 birds with one
Whatever you
stone.
say, moron.
I mean, you did cast
I'm
sleep on them,
kidding.
one in front of you, so. All right. Two, 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 two. Does a.
Nope.
I'm okay. Well, I was going to use my inspiration on that. I don't know if you want to count that.
Nope. Inspiration is a brand new roll.
Oh, okay. I see. All right then.
If you want to use inspiration, you can re-roll your attack.
Oh,
Yeah, because that second roll is for advantage disadvantage, where you know you get 2 rolls going in. There's no point in inspiration being a thing if if whenever you roll, you're gonna know what the inspiration roll's gonna look like.
okay. So okay. I make another attack roll then.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to use it, that will hit.
All right. That will be 8 damage, and then another 4 damage, so 12 damage total.
Your arrow strikes true, and the hobgoblin will grunt, but he will continue his war chant. Go, Bogley.
All right. So Bogley is going to run over here, and he's going to shoot a distant blindness deafness at the archer that's not asleep.
Right.
It's going to be a DC 13 Constitution save for him. What'd you get?
18.
18. Well, you're not blind, but I did cast a spell, so.
Yep.
That's my turn.
All right, go, Corden.
Say how much damage was done to that goblin drumming?
Like 20.
20.
Almost.
Okay. Seeing that.
Maybe 15.
Okay. Well, being that he needs to be struck down, I'm going to attempt to cast Guiding Bolt, as I cannot reach him on foot at the moment. So that's going to be my ranged attack. So
That will hit.
fuck yeah. And I'm casting it as a second level spell too, by the way. I forgot to say that. But
All right, 5d8
regardless.
or whatever it is.
Yep. 5d6 radiant damage. Oh, for goodness sake.
It's pretty average.
Your
It's not
bolts
bad.
strike true,
Damn it.
and he glows with a radiant light. So whoever makes the next attack roll on him will have advantage on their attack roll.
Before the end of my next turn, yep.
Sadly,
the
it's their turn
goblins
now.
get to go. This
Oh,
goblin down here.
I do have I can take a movement action as well.
All right.
I'm going to cast my spell and then move my 25 feet.
Isn't that tool so nice?
Oh, yeah. Right here, wasn't it?
Yep.
All right.
The goblin down who will whoop with victory is saying over Letta, and then we'll move to attack Gedwin. Will 19 hit?
Can assume it
I can
does.
actually check to see if a 19 will hit.
Yeah, I said yes. So
Okay, I
must
did not
have
hear.
off and push the dock.
All right.
Well, I'm on push the dock and it's not very consistent.
You take 8 damage from his longsword, and the war cry will reverberate through the hobgoblin, and he'll deal additional damage.
Oh no.
The Hobgoblin will once again whoop with victory as
Jeez.
Edwin takes another 15 damage. Unfortunately, this guy up here with the bow is asleep, but this one up here isn't. And he'll dance back and shoot an arrow at Corden. Will 16 hit Corden?
Pling, pling, bitch.
This goblin will stop drumming and pull out 2 scimitars and step forward to attack Corden.
Hmm.
I think the only thing that will hit is the 21.
Fuck, yeah. Yep.
You take 8 damage, and he is invigorated by his own roar cry from the previous turn, and you'll take an additional 4 damage
Oof.
as
Okay.
he slices you with one of his scimitars.
Oh, fuck. Give me 1 second here, because I think I have something to not get killed. Could be wrong. Give me 1 second here. Oh, hold on a second. Hang on. I might be taking. I've been taking more damage than I think I needed to. Backgrounds, nope. Okay. Is he hitting me with a magical weapon?
He is not.
Okay, so fuck yeah, that saves my ass. Because that's minus because of my heavy armor master. I take 3 less damage from bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing weapons. So that's gonna save my bacon.
A little bit.
You only take 3 less damage.
Yeah, that's shit. I forget how was he doing damage beforehand, or how was I taking damage? It was a spell.
It was a spell,
Were
Yeah.
both spells.
You did necrotic.
and then force damage from a magic missile.
Oh shit, that's necrotic. Okay, yeah, that's all right. That's what I thought, but I was just making sure. So, well, that one rattled me a little bit.
And since the other archer is asleep, Gedwin, it's your turn. You seem to have fallen unconscious.
Death save, death save.
Oh yeah, hardcore. But not hardcore enough to actually kill me. So let's do that death save. So I roll a d20 and
I think it's 10 or higher. That is a fail, unfortunately. I'll add 1 tick for death.
okay.
Go Ravon. You notice that Elric and that Gedwin and Leda have both fallen.
All right. I am going to turn my attentions to this little dickhead over here and shoot an arrow at him. That
You
is
get a critical hit.
right. Well, safe to say he's probably dead, but
Probably,
you know,
Get those numbers.
yeah. So that's 14 damage. But that even
No.
rolls-
No, with the critical hit, you add another 7 because you rolled a 7 on your die. So it's 14 plus 4, so for 18.
Oh, I thought it already calculated the critical.
It does not.
I have a D8.
Yep, you rolled an 8, and it says you got a 7 on your die, so 7 plus 7 for 14. Then add the 3 and the 1 from the magic.
Oh, okay.
for 18 damage.
All right. Well, he
Rip.
dead? Yeah. Okay.
Anything else you'd like to do, Ravon?
Let's see. What is my other character sheet? I think that's a touch. Yeah, it's touch. All right. Yeah, let's see if I. Oh, that's not that far.
Wow. Not even snapping to grid with those distance calculations.
Yeah, I'm going to run over here. What is my speed? 30. Okay, so.
That looks reasonable.
There we go. Right there.
Okay,
And that'll be my turn.
go Sven.
All right, I'm going to pop out, and I'm going to shoot a firebolt right at this leader. It's going to be sweet. I think I missed.
Did you? It's. I think it's very possible. You did miss.
I think I missed, yeah. That's my turn.
All right, go Corden.
Okay. I am beat. I'm beat down, but not out. And I'm going to make sure that this kind of bastard here gets his comeuppance for daring to hurt me. But actually, because he's been particularly wicked, I intend to strike him down with great ferocity.
Hey.
Okay.
That will hit.
Okay.
That. How do you kill this Hobgoblin War Leader?
So, having been blasted by magic, having my energy and my life force sapped away, and taking a nice nasty cut that was barely turned away, whose lethality was barely turned away by my armor. Corden's not in the mood for anything fancy. Plus, there are more to be killed. So after parrying one blow, one strike from his sword, catching another across the joint, the Hobgoblin left himself open, and Corden swings low, taking out his knee, sending him down to the ground, and then he reels up, and with a mighty swing overhanded, he takes out one knee, and as the goblin goes down, he swings backwards, cracking under the jaw, and smashing his jaw apart and whipping his head backward,
Crunch.
cracking his neck. And he crumples to the ground in a heap.
All right. You notice as you land the final blow and look down at his body that he was wearing half plate and has a pretty nice right-handed gauntlet on his armor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'd be neat to wear. Wow.
Is there any movement Corden would like to do?
Yeah. I'm going to do this. Move over to him, and I'm actually going to use the second of my...
As asleep. Oh, you're going to do something. Okay.
It counts as a bonus action, so... So, as a bonus...
So our cleric is moving away from the deceased people.
Ravon's a healer, too.
Yep.
I've got killing to do. I'm going to try to smack this one. Oh, boy.
That will hit.
I got him, too. Oh, I definitely got him.
That goblin also falls beneath your mighty hammer. Torm is pleased with you. The last hobgoblin still up. Looks pretty concerned about how things are going. He'll notice this weak little mage hiding way back in the corner, and will shoot off an arrow at him.
Of course. Miss. Oh, you actually missed.
He misses, and then the hobgoblin will run off and flee. And those of you who can understand Goblin will hear it yelling, "Flee! These are too strong! Run! They got the war leader! Flee! Flee!"
All right.
All right, Ivan's got some
Combat
healing
over.
to do.
Yeah, I'm going to first.
You have healing spells now, right?
I do. I have one. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Letta.
All right. She comes back just fine.
Okay, and then I will feed a potion to Gedwin.
You can save it. I can
Oh,
get him.
you just did 2 death save things. You got to actually get to him, and
Oh, sure. Fair
yeah,
enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
this
I can't
is
reach
this
him
is
that
fine.
Yeah, John saved me there. You would not have reached me in time.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Actually, we'll find out whether you would have or not. I would have gotten that.
No way to know. No way to know. It's best to
Yeah.
be safe.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that would have brought you right back, huh?
No, that would have just made it so that I had a 50% chance of dying or living.
You would have stabilized, I think, if you had. Oh no, yeah, you did. What,
That's
2?
when it just gives you 2 victories.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
All right, you
But
guys
that one
get
gives you 2 failures.
300 experience points each for the combat,
right.
and a bonus 100 for none of your charges dying in the combat as well. So 400 total.
Cool. We're almost there.
The first thing Gedwin will see when he wakes up is Bogley standing over him. It is not yet time for you to join me in Isle Oblivion. Ah!
Aletta will be incredibly grateful to Ravan for saving her, as well as Gedwin for his valiance in battle, for stepping forward to avenge her when she fell. I appreciate what you both have done for me very much. I certainly would have moved on to the next world if not for your assistances.
Was only just doing my job. I don't think Ravan is used to such high praise. At least not from anyone recently.
What era is this? I seem to remember some thousands of years ago, hobgoblins were much stronger than this.
Alright, guys, I gotta go.
Yeah, this is where we're going to end it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Combat was a good one.
Yeah. See ya, Paul.
Yeah. Have a good night.
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 And we'll end that there. It sounds
Nice.
lots of roleplay, nice little combat to end it.
Yeah.
Still decent 3 hours or so. Almost 2.5, I guess.
Yeah.
Isn't it more than that?
Yeah, it's 3.5.
3.5. Okay, yeah.
It was 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a nice long session.
And then the next one will be June 6th.
Okay.
You couldn't have done like 6 more damage to me? Just kill this character.
I tried really hard. I had the Hobgoblin who had all the reason to shoot Corden with his 2 hit points left instead of shoot you.
Well, I have 10 AC, so the
Yeah.
odds of hitting me are, it's...
Trying to get.
He should have been deaf, though. He happened to roll a 17. That's not fair.
You did. I was
Blind or
playing
whatever
a
it was.
wizard, arcane spellcaster.
It's It feels great because my spells suck. I purposely picked really interesting ones so that I get to be useless at a distance. The beauty about Sven is he was a really good meat shield. This wasn't that.
Is a romantic situation what triggers Boggly?
Yeah. Any bedroom shenanigans will bring him out. Essentially, Sven had a really traumatic experience walking into his father and some drow women. And he's been scarred ever since. That birthed this particular altar. So
It was like, oh, Mr. Shortsword, this drow poison I've brought will engorge your penis. And then Sven walked in on it being administered and the swelling, and then he was traumatized.
Oh no!
Sure. That's canon. His father is a notorious womanizer, and he didn't get the gift.
Sven gets a haircut with Tyvik.
Who?
Circa. Never mind.
That's yeah. Sven is Mark Zuck. There's Sven, and there's his dwarf lady friend getting his hair.
He is very bravely choosing the afro.
Jesus.
Oh, is
And Seth.
Yeah.
Whenever Corden gets that, if Corden gets that gauntlet, I should say, you guys could certainly fuck up next time you go for it and not get it. But if you are not a follower of Torm, it gives you a +1 to hit. But if you are a follower of Torm, any weapon you hold with the gauntlet is in effect a +1 weapon, no matter what it is.
Ooh.
So if it's like a +2, it'll stay a +2. But non-magical weapons become magical when held by someone of the faithful.
hey, that would handle the issue that you don't have a magic weapon and we do.
You're right.
Heck yeah!
Pretty good.
That is why this this whole shebang right here, this whole fight is exactly why I'm playing a war cleric. Because my goodness, I was popping off.
I'm so glad you finally put an enemy within 5 feet of another enemy. I've been waiting to use my my horde skill.
You actually hit 2, which is the miracle.
Yes.
So you wait so long for something to go right, and then you cast blindness deafness on a goblin, and they just
It doesn't quite work out.
if Seth didn't engage the leader, I was gonna I don't know what I was gonna do to him. Probably
Do you have magic missile on your character?
No.
That's a sin.
that would be too mundane. I don't want guaranteed damage. I want burning
Nope.
hands.
No, magic missile is like that wonderful lunar item in Risk of Rain 2 that replaces your basic attack with these like delayed explosion effects.
That's what Firebolt is for. Firebolt is my basic attack, except I can't hit with it because I rolled a...
Firebolt
2
is
or-
terrible.
Firebolt's amazing. Don't you dare. It's got a range of 120 feet. If I
It does,
do
but
a
you have to
distant
roll to
version
hit
of that,
with
it's
it.
240. Magic missiles for chumps. I get to double the damage of Firebolt next level, too. So the second we hit level 5, it's going to be like, this is going to be a whole new different Boggly. One you've never seen before. You've never seen Boggly like this.
I've never seen Boggly at all.
Yeah.
That's probably for the best. He's, why am I playing this character?
Because you almost had the sex with a dwarf.
It could have been a nice cut the black. Spen wakes up the next day, not entirely sure what happened, and life goes on as normal.
Absolutely. It could
But
have
for
been.
some reason, the dwarf lady hates him completely now.
Absolutely. That sounds accurate, probably. All right. Well, I probably gotta get going too.
Oh, thank you for playing. I'm
Yeah,
going to call it a night.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think I might do
what a
something.
good night it was.
Yeah.